episode 118.
Nice
Janna Perry.
Janna Perry.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so as you can see, the level of professionalism here is top notch.
I like it.
Yeah, so we actually met online, which
Right.
is something scary, right? Cass had put out a comment about fascism, and
Yeah.
we had a respectful dialogue, and you said something to me that I have always believed that we have more in common than we don't.
I think so. Yep.
You know, I know you're a big music lover, and I think that's the attitude I wish more people could adopt.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it's going to take to get us there? For example, you came on to have a conversation. Right? And I think that's what's needed.
Well, I think
conversations.
Generally, I avoid politics
Mm-hmm.
for a few reasons. Number one, I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have to be kind of careful about what you say, because
Absolutely.
no matter what you say, you have a 50% chance of offending someone.
Absolutely.
And everybody is offendable these
Right,
days.
right.
Like, right, left, up, down, like it doesn't matter. So I generally avoid the topic altogether for the most part, unless I'm with somebody that I know,
which is
kind of feels
wise.
the way I do.
Yeah, I mean, and I stopped delving into it on on Facebook for the most part as well for that same reason. I'm trying to brand for my band, and you get somebody who goes in that, sometimes I'll make my position known, and then I'll take it down later once, because I don't want it to be toxic.
Right.
New people coming in and seeing things, but it's sad that it has to be that way.
Well, and especially for music, because music historically has been politically charged.
Oh gosh, look at the '90s, the anti-Bush movements, and certainly.
Well, and one of the things that I have kind of just felt lately is that because of all of the things that are going on right now, I feel like we're going to have some good music. Like it's coming. Jesse Wells is he is a brilliant songwriter.
Yeah.
And he's right here in our backyard.
I know, isn't that wild?
I feel like that's going to happen. But the reason that I felt comfortable commenting on Cass's post was that I love Cass, and I think Cass loves me, and I love his little mama. She's one of my favorite people on this planet, and I felt like that I could answer his question without him being mean to me.
Yeah, but sometimes it's somebody that's not even, related, and the dogs just
and
on
I
you.
generally ignore that. And it started right away. When I said what I said, I answered the question politely and kindly, but bluntly.
Sure.
And immediately somebody reacted.
You did it in a very professional, and that's the problem. Yeah.
And that's the thing about me. My kids joke all the time that I'm Janna Perry, the face of Perry Perfect Cleaning, all the time. Like I try to conduct myself that way, just because it's who I am. For
so you
one
do
thing,
cleaning?
I do.
You probably feel disgusting in here then.
No, see, I hate it when people think that too, because I do keep my own house pretty tidy. Like I am pretty picky. But I don't mind. Like it doesn't bother me. I'm not
filth.
Dude, I'm not looking. And if I am looking, I'm just thinking how fun it would be to make it. How fun it would be to clean it. Not that it's gross or
6 layers of dust is what I'm referring to.
Well, so I always tell people there's lots of reasons why people don't clean. Yeah. Some people just don't like to.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo and I do like to.
Right.
Some people don't have the physical ability to do so. Some people just don't have time.
Yeah.
And I don't care what that reason is. It doesn't matter to me because it's my job. It's oddly my passion. And I make good money doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. It's my jam.
I love that you love what you do. I think that's something that is really tragic about the way school is set up. I feel like these kids are herded into a life that, go to college and get a degree and get into corporate and all that stuff. And then you look down the road 20 years later and you're going, I'm trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and I wanted to go to college. I did. In fact, I started out of high school. I was young. I had a baby my senior year. She'll be 26 this year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I had a baby my senior year.
And what year were you born?
82. I'm an 82 model.
So I'm 81.
All right.
Okay, so we're pretty close.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So you got a grown one already. My goodness.
I do. Yep, she'll be 26. And then I have my baby will be 19 next month.
And you got the two?
Just two girls,
okay.
yeah.
Were they close at all? That's kind of a big gap.
Yeah, they're pretty tight. Yeah. They're still, I mean, they hang out.
Really?
And they both, the little one lives at home, and the older one, she bought a really nice fifth wheel and fixed it up just how she wants it, and it's parked in my backyard, so she's close.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we all, this morning, one of the reasons that I didn't go, do a fun thing this morning was because I was just chilling with my kids and my husband at the house.
Yeah, that's... My thing is, if the kids are present, I want to be doing something with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like so many people... parenting is so different now than when I grew up. I mean, we're the same generation, obviously. Right. Our grandparents, I can't speak for yours, my grandparents were harsh people. They grew up in tough times.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're born in the late 30s. You've seen a lot of shit.
Right, yeah.
You know.
Some of my... It's weird. Well, so my parents come from divorced parents. Yeah. So I had
2 sets.
I had lots of grandparents because everybody remarried, and I really loved everyone that they remarried. So I had 4 sets of grandparents.
Okay.
And some of
I had
them
3. My mom's parents were divorced, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like bonus grandparents. It was pretty cool. So and some of them are kind of harsh. But my favorite grandma, she really wasn't at all. And I think that's where I get a lot of who I am is from her. She was kind of different.
Isn't that interesting that how big of an influence your grandparents can be?
Oh, she was everything to me.
My dad's mom was a huge influence on me. And she was a herpetologist. So she was a, reptile doctor.
Cool.
And that's what, she had at one point, there's a hognose snake up there. She did her, what do you call it? To graduate, her dissertation on hognose snake breeding habits. She had an alligator in the bathtub at one point.
Oh.
She collected skulls and dead animals, and she's just a wild lady. Yeah. She turned me on to Godzilla and Star Trek, and
so my earrings are rattlesnake vertebrae.
Oh, that is so cool! I love that.
Aren't they amazing?
So that's what's the?
It's opal, unpolished opal.
What's the long thing coming down?
So
the bottom?
that is the side bones.
Oh,
this
really?
is the vertebrae, and this is the side bones.
So you're not afraid of snakes, then? I tell you.
I don't want to play with them. I don't want to play with one, but they're neat to look at. And I, this snake met its demise. I was in close proximity and saw it happen. And
so that's from a local snake.
Yeah, but I can't talk about that.
No.
He met his demise in an unfortunate way. It wasn't anything unethical.
Right.
And I saw the girls that had come across it, and I knew that there was going to be pretty jewelry made from that. And I said, I'd like to have some of that.
How did you
And about 9 months later. Okay. Well, so I grew up with kind of unconventional parents. They were bikers in the 90s and 80s when it wasn't a yuppie thing to do.
Right.
When it was kind of it was looked at as kind of a not good thing. I mean, my dad's been pulled over and had a cop gun in his side and that kind of stuff just because he wore a leather jacket and boots and whatnot. And so my parents took a 1980 Harley Davidson from coast to coast across this country.
Really?
Yeah, and they rode a lot. When I was a little kid, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents because they were on the motorcycle in the summertime.
Right. Interesting.
So that's how I when I saw this snake thing happening, my mom had snake bone jewelry when I was a kid. She had all kinds of neat jewelry from awesome. Places they had bought from native people out west and
my grandmother made what do you call them, mobiles? The things that hang out of all kinds of spines and bones and my sons still have quite a few of those things. But it's always interesting to see jewelry made out of unconventional.
My youngest is moving into taxidermy.
Really?
She is. Yeah, she just finished a class over in Oak City. And she did a coyote. at Coyote. Yeah, sure did.
Really? I've always been fascinated, like, how does one get into or get interested to go in taxidermy?
Well, my kids are just little weirdos, and they, like you were saying, your grandma always had bones, and they just kind of we live in the country a little bit, and we have a couple of acres, and
Cool.
they're just playing around and finding things, and I don't know. She's both of my kids are super artistic,
Really?
like ridiculous. They can paint and draw and
Any music?
make jewelry. Well, my oldest, she played guitar for a little while. She was self-taught, sings like a bird, but she is afraid. I think she's a little scared, and I always was too.
Were you?
I didn't. Yeah,
now,
I didn't.
You had a career with it. I mean, or at least
Yeah,
you played out.
I played. Yeah, I played with a band. I had a band called the Hill Raisers.
Yeah.
And we did that for close to a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's doing it.
I mean, we played around
yeah.
and the guys that played with me, they always said they made more money when they played with me than they ever did. Like I looked at it as a business. That's Janna Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've always said I've never really made a dime at music because everything I've made I put back into it.
Sure, yeah.
It's just
you
investing.
can make tens of dollars.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not good. It's like the Tesla Edison thing. Mm-hmm. Like Tesla had more talent, but he's a terrible businessman.
Sure.
I'm that. Like, I'm just terrible, and I also just don't like asking people for money. Like,
I love it.
I have.
You
don't mind?
No, I don't. And you know where that changed with me is I learned.
I'd love to know.
I learned my value.
Yeah.
I'm a valuable person.
Yeah.
For all kinds of reasons. I have lots of talents and lots of abilities, and I'm gonna get paid for those. And it does not hurt my feelings, not one bit. I do not stutter when I ask for $1. Absolutely do not.
That's interesting to me because
it's taken me a long time to get there, but I do not stutter.
Really.
And as far as my business goes,
did you get taken advantage of at some point? Is that what caused that?
In my line of work, it's easy to be taken advantage of. And one reason is because there's lots of people that do what I do. There's very few people that do what I do the way I do what I do. I'm super detailed. And I've had lots of clients will tell me, they can tell when it's got a Janna Perry shine to it. I just do it different, and I know that that's worth something. And I show up every time, on time. And yeah, I'm just worth it. There's a lot of people that do it, and there's a lot of people that do it, and they don't pay their taxes. They're not a legitimate business. Right. I'm a legitimate business. I pay my taxes. I have a CPA that takes care of all of my biz. I have insurance, and I don't mind to ask for those dollars. I'm worth every penny.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with me. It's just like
takes practice.
I know, maybe. But it's like, I mean, merchandise is one thing, I want to recoup my money, but like we do Durham Fest every year, and I don't want to charge a cover. I just want people to come out and have a good time. And but yeah, it's a mindset. It's,
well, and even with my band, like, first of all, one of the first things that I did when I started doing music, and I stumbled into that accidentally. Into music. And to getting paid for it, I never thought I would be doing that.
Right.
I was 28 years old. My husband bought me a mandolin from an old man that we went to church with. And
did you already know how to play?
No, I'd never played an instrument in my life.
At 28?
At 28 years old,
28, really?
I'd never touched an instrument in my life. And I'm still not any good at it. I play mandolin like most people play guitar. I only do chords. Right. I own these 2 fingers, so I can play lots of songs. Yeah. But I don't do a lot of melodies or anything like that.
The vocals that.
Yep. I sing. I sing like a little bird.
So that's your.
That I can say. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a great player, but I'm a good vocalist.
Nice.
Yep.
Did you do any studio work during that time?
Just a little bit. We did a few songs. We did several originals, and I think we just did one cover, and we recorded with Chris Moore at East Hall.
Yeah, I've heard good things about East Hall.
Yeah.
Never recorded there myself, but we recorded with Dwight Chalmers at Listen Lab for a long time. We did 2.5 albums with him. And we were in the middle of doing our 3rd album, and he got hired by the Discovery Channel.
Oh.
Or the Discover Channel, excuse me. and then he ended up working on that show, Skinwalker Ranch. So I understood, like
Right.
you got your dream job, but
Yeah.
it was a mess because we had all these audio files that were unmixed.
See, that's what I have. I never did anything with them.
Yeah.
That's what I have. I don't. They're out in the abyss somewhere. I have no idea like what to do. I don't even know what to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's recorded. And how did you feel when you heard yourself recorded for the first time? Did it freak you out?
No, I was so excited. So I did my first studio recording at 15.
Oh wow.
So my uncle's band. I have an uncle who's 18 months older than me. Anyway.
And we have some of that in our family too.
Yeah, we used to tell people we're cousins.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's easier.
But he was a sophomore. So they had a band, and their singer left, and he knew that I had a ton of songs written. I mean, I'd probably written over 100 songs at that point.
Oh wow.
They weren't any good. They're trash.
Right.
I still have them all. I record everything. I have records of all.
So
of it.
that's great.
Yeah, my kids roast me for some of the early songs I've written. But they're also the ones who got me back into music. So, so I started playing with them, and they knew a guy named Jim Nichols out in Winslow that had a recording studio, and we went out and did 2 songs, and I wasn't weirded out by it at all. I was so excited. It was like
I cried.
Did you?
The first time I heard my voice, I was like, "Do I really sound like that? Like seriously?"
Yeah.
Is that really what?
You're probably a better singer than I am.
No, nobody warned me that it sounds so different to your own ear when it's recorded that way. It freaked me out. Yeah.
I don't notice as big a difference singing as I do talking. I feel like I sound a lot different talking, but the singing didn't
It sounded so
different.
nasally to
Really?
me, and I didn't really think I was a nasally sounding person, but on that record, it sounded nasally. I was like, "Oh my god!" And Chris was like, "Oh, nobody warned you about this," and I was like, "No, this is terrible."
Yeah, no, I love studio. Problem
I only
is,
did it once. It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun and but it's expensive.
Very
and
expensive.
When we started this band, I had 126 songs written.
That's amazing.
Vetted, written. But I've talked about this before. For every 10 songs you write, you usually keep one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably 1,000 songs written for those because most of them are trash. And so you keep the ones that are good, and you got to bounce those up against what you've already done. You don't want to rewrite your own stuff, So it does become challenging when you've written, so many songs. I've had 2 solo albums. I've done some EPs. Durham did 3 albums. Sober did 3 albums. So I've done a lot of recordings, but I feel like I never can catch up. And then when Durham stopped playing in 2012, I just kept writing. So I had this huge catalog of songs, which was really good.
Right.
Because I was like, well, we'll just start doing Durham songs, and we started working those up. But then we started writing our own stuff, writing new stuff, And so we've got a catalog of stuff. Plus we're writing new stuff, and my dad is playing lead guitar, and it's been really good for him, for his memory. And he'd never done original stuff before. He'd always played in cover bands.
Sure.
And it's a different attack. So you mentioned a lot of yours were originals.
Yeah, when we were playing out quite a bit, we had probably, I would say it was probably half.
Yeah.
I would say probably half
So
covers.
did you contribute to the writing?
I did all of the lyrics.
Okay, cool.
I would say, the boys helped a little bit with that, but we had this formula. It was pretty cool. The guy that was playing guitar with us, then Hank King is who we started the band with, and like I said, that happened accidentally. His granddad was a good friend of my dad's and my husband's, and they worked together, and he was like, "You guys need to play with my grandson," and so he came over and we jammed, and we were like, "Wow, this is kind of fun." And he was like, they do this jam day up here on Saturdays at the pawn shop, and so we were like, okay. And I was like, man, I can't play in front of people. Like, I can't sing in front of people. Y'all are
Really?
nuts.
You had some nervous.
Oh my gosh. That first day we were walking in, and I remember I had these real cool antique shoes on, and I was really into pinup culture at the time. I had my big old pinup rolls, my cute little dress, and my big red lips on. I looked so cute. And we were walking in, and I turned around to Hank, and I said, I'm going to puke on these cool shoes. And he said, why? Like, what is your problem? I was like, I don't know. I'm just so nervous. And we got in and we played for those people and they had the best time. Like everybody was so happy and it went really well. And then, I would post like videos or whatever that we were doing kind of at the house. And then a couple people hired us to play like backyard parties and that kind of thing. And then, the guy that owned the pawn shop, he really liked us and he hired us for a couple of Halloween parties at Big Brother Pawn. And, I don't know. It just kind of snowballed.
Did it get easier for you to get on stage?
It was kind of weird. So I had a real hard time for a real long time. And one day we had been asked to play a car show. I'm into vintage cars. Me and my husband both are total gearheads. And I had a Volkswagen Beetle. I had a 72 Super Beetle. That was my main car I drove that thing every day for 3 years.
Really?
I had it for 10 years. So they asked us to play this car show. And we pulled my little Beetle up, popped the trunk open, put some of our equipment in there. And that little scared girl, wherever she came from, she died that day. That chick just went away. I don't know what happened. I mean, I would get nervous from time to time after that, but never ever the same. Like my knees never knocked real hard ever again after that day. And
Interesting.
I don't know what it was about it, other than just like there were some really good friends of mine there that really loved me and I really loved them, and just like looking up and seeing their face. And I always pick an anchor person.
Do you?
Yes, I always find somebody in the audience that I can lock up with, and I don't know, but that day it just changed.
I don't have the fear of playing in front of people. I have the fear of something going wrong.
Oh gosh, like, things go wrong all the time.
There's so many things that play. I get so worried about because in a lot of the places we play, you got to do your own sound,
Right.
So.
Well, I hate to tell you this because I know you're fixing to play Muranos. But let me tell you, the craziest thing that ever happened to us was we had just got rolling at Muranos one night, and we were really on it, man. We were tuned in, and a water main something busted in the ceiling, and it started pouring. Not on our stuff, but like in the hallway, you could hear it. It's like. And then they had to evacuate the building.
Oh my gosh.
Cops, fire trucks. Oh gosh, that's probably been. It was probably 10 years ago.
Has he had that
8 years ago? Long? 8 years ago, maybe. I don't know. It's a long time ago.
Forgot that. I had him on the podcast a couple months ago, and it's like you always have because I don't like formal structure in a podcast.
Sure, yeah.
Like it feels like too much like a fake interview.
It's one of the reasons I agreed to this. Because it's set up the way it is.
Well, yeah, I don't like having an agenda.
Yeah.
Because the conversation is way more fun when you don't know where it's going.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's like, how do you feel about this?
Sure.
So I had all these things I wanted to ask Adam about, and I didn't ask him any of them. So I was like, you got to come back on, bro.
Yeah.
Because just like this, we're all over the place because that's the way conversation naturally flows.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know he had it that long.
I think gosh, I can't remember. Don't hold me to that date because
that's wild.
I do
At least
know
it
has
wasn't on
been
your
wild.
stuff.
Yeah, it was nuts. We've had all kinds of things. Man, we played a backyard party one time, and it was kind of flooded, and they had us standing on a piece of plywood in the middle of a puddle. Just crazy stuff, We used to play this festival, Volkswagen Festival, up in Neosho, and they always had us on a big flatbed trailer,
Yep, I've done it too.
God, I knocked my music stand off like twice.
Did you?
In the same night, yeah. Yeah, that was, speaking of things going wrong, I can't believe I'm going to tell this story, but it's funny, I have to. So we were all tuned in, ready to go, fixing to jump on the stage, and I said, I got to go pee. So I run to the porta potty, it's just getting dark, and I shimmy my dress up and tuck it in, and I start to pee, and I feel wet down the back of my legs. And somebody had put the stupid lid down and I didn't know. So I peed all over the back of my legs. It went down in my little shoes. I played for 4 hours with pee in my shoes.
Oh my gosh.
My girlfriend was standing outside. She was running a food truck there, and I said, girl, will you spread the backs of my legs off?
my. That is wild.
So all kinds of things go wrong, but
yeah.
the show must go on.
We opened up for 38 Special in
Oh,
Fort
wow.
Smith. Well, it was the second time we opened up for them. We opened up for them at the Amp here back when it was up by the mall.
Right.
We won a battle of the bands at George's. And then
Wow.
a few years later, Riverfest down in Fort Smith hired us to open up for them there. And, of course, they've got roadies. Like, they've got, so
it's
all
big
their
stuff.
gear was there. And then we set up in front of them. And there was a big storm coming in. And so as soon as it started raining, these guys had everything tarped within 2 minutes. Like they were out there, our stuff included.
Right.
It was just like boom, 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 boom. Those guys were. If you've never seen like professional roadies
get it done.
It is so cool to be backstage and watch them work.
Yeah.
Like they're so professional. They get everything set. It'd be so nice to have.
It's like breathing. They just do it.
No, they do.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough to have roadies with my band Sober when I was in late high school, just out of high school, but they were buddies of ours, just wanted to hang out and stuff like that. But it was so
very
awesome.
helpful,
because that gear, it's
it's heavy.
It's heavy.
And
it's it's a pain in the ass. That's
yeah, and I was big on I'm not gonna be that singer that just shows up with a microphone. No, sir. Me and Red, we were the ones with the PA, and I had my load in, load out shoes, and then my show shoes.
Yeah.
And I worked just as hard as the boys.
I love the memes of like the band coming in. The drummer comes in with his bass rig or his drum rig, and the bass player comes in with his bass. And the singer comes in with nothing at all.
Yeah.
And then the guitar player, you see him backing up a 53-foot trailer to get all their gear out of. It's like, because I've played with some guitar players, and I've been fortunate to play with some great ones. Johnny Smith has been with me since 2005, I think, with Durham. And I mean, just incredible guy to play with, top 1% in the world. I mean, just when we practice and he goes into a solo, we stop and watch him, But yeah, those guitar players, they're always on this quest for the perfect sound.
Oh yeah,
my dad's
absolutely.
the same way too. Like I've had the same sound pretty much since I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Very few tweaks to it. I like it. It works, and it's consistent.
Right.
And so if you're doing a record, I have the same sound throughout, and then the lead guitar player changes it on everything.
Sure.
So that gives it that kind of variable,
right.
But yeah,
So Red is he plays doghouse bass.
Okay.
And so he had chased a sound for years and years and years, changing the strings and the different amps.
Hiccups,
and
amps.
It's been a long road. And then and then we just kind of bowed out and just have really been done. I mean, I'll hit a jam circle or something from time to time, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to work that hard. It's a shame.
Lot of work.
It's a shame, and I get sad. I get sad about it sometimes, especially like last week. My employee was sick, and I worked by myself one day. And generally, if she and I are working together, we've got our headphones in and listening to a podcast or something. But man, the other day I cranked up my tunes and I sang all day long, and it makes me miss it. I'm like, it's really a shame to waste that.
Yeah,
it sounds pretty good.
We 2012 is when we stopped playing until 2023, and I'd always when I was very fortunate growing up that my dad had a buddy named Jim Hanna, and Jim's huge music fan, so he put outdoor plumbing out at his place, got big flatbed trailer out there.
Yeah.
And my dad was in a cover band called The Basics for years and years and years. They did a lot of private parties at George's,
Yeah.
But Jim got them to come out and headline, and my band at the time was Sober. We'd come out and open up for them. Friends, family. It was outside.
Yes.
People camped,
that's
and I
my
look
favorite.
forward to it every year. And it was just so much fun. And then when we moved out here, I talked about doing a Durham Fest for years and years and years. And it just never happened. And then in 2023, my middle son, I'm playing with now, he's like, you need to do it this year. You're never going to do it, Dad.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, smart ass. I'll see if the guys are available. They're going to say no. Anyway, I texted the guys, and all three back, yes, yes, yes. So I was like, shit.
You're like, crap, now I have to do it.
So
I love it when kids do stuff like that.
He took me from being almost completely stagnant musically to now, like, I'm back in it.
Yeah.
And I love it again.
That's great.
Like, you know, it got to be such a chore. And I've had conversations like with my drummer Gary. He's like, the passion for me is writing new music and that. But some guys just want to play. You know, they don't care about that. They just want to get out there and jam, and they don't have the same reasons for playing, you know, or the same passion. Like, to me, music is my number one thing.
Right.
For some of these guys, it might be hobby 2 or 3. You know, they're more focused on something else.
You know, I think that's the thing about it for me, is it's hard for me to find. It's hard for me to find bandmates that would be. I don't want to play out every weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, about every other weekend or so is cool. I like to practice every week just because I'm type A and I have my little list and I want to, you know, do it perfect. And it's hard for me to find people that take it serious enough and then not too serious. I can't find somebody that's real even keel about it the way that I am, because I want it to. It's a product. I mean, I am passionate about my music, and it is art, but it's also, if somebody's paying me to do something, I want to do it the best that it can be done. I don't want to show up with my head up my butt, twiddling my thumbs, not looking like a professional. Everything I do in my life, I want to look like a professional, be a professional doing whatever it is. So I think that's where I am. Like, I don't have it in me to do all of the footwork, because I was the one that was doing all of the website stuff, the phone calls, the emails, the negotiation, all of that. That was all on me. And I like doing it, and I don't mind doing it.
Right.
I don't know. It's just a lot of work. I just don't know if I want to do that.
What you said is very relatable to me. I mean, finding a group, you can have the most talented person in your band and they're an asshole, right? And it sucks. I've had that before. Right. Had a drummer that was you just hated being around him. He was great. Well,
I've always said that my bandmates were like the brothers I never wanted. I love them dearly. I do love them dearly, but it's a lot of work, and it's kind of like being married to 3 people. And
it is.
It's hard.
It's a relationship.
Hard. It is.
And
there was a lot of feeling not appreciated. And
really?
And I don't mind to do the work, but like, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just be appreciated.
I was very fortunate to land up with the guys in Durham, and we've been together since 2003 now. Right. So, and then we're like brothers. I mean, we had arguments and stuff and everything, but it's like you said, it's like a relationship. But man, I wouldn't have had it any other way. But still, Nathan's kids are little, so he's kind of where me and Gary were several years ago.
Babies kill bands. I've always said that. They do.
Well, we had a big Cinco de Mayo show at, I don't know what it was called at the time, either Gypsy or Froggies,
I
can't remember what it was called in 2012.
We had our engagement party at Gypsy.
Did you?
Back in the day, yeah.
But we had this big Cinco de Mayo show. We were gonna play. I think we were opening up for Hunker Down that night. I can't remember, but anyway,
I remember that band.
My wife went into labor at 3:00. Day of the show, and he was born at 4:20.
Oh.
So 4:20 on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Party
There you go.
Right?
That's a party of a kid.
That was the last show we never played, and it was like I want to be. We were talking about this earlier about with your kids, if they're open and available, I want to be with them.
Right.
I want to be doing stuff with them, and it's like, if I'm going to be doing band practice every week, it's a night I'm not going to see my kids, and Gary's kids were born pretty close to mine, and so we were both of the same opinion. It's like we never broke up, but it's like, well, this just isn't something that we want to do right now. And so now we do one show a year at Durham Fest and have our friends and family come out, and that's good for us. But organically, my son started playing drums, and it's just, and he's here, and so I'm constantly doing it, and it's
Two
fun
birds,
again.
one stone.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch and kind of guide and teach, but watch them try new things and be successful.
Yeah.
It's,
for sure.
It was a really organic thing. Of course, my dad was a no-brainer. We'd never really played in a band before.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then my buddy Jared Seifert that I grew up with, his dad plays bass, and I was just like, hey, you want to do this thing? And there's no egos.
Right.
It's everybody just wants what's best for the song.
Sure.
And it's been so much fun just working stuff up.
And that's how it should be. And as long as it's that way. I know when we were talking about like songwriting earlier, and and had like how it came about or whatever, my husband and Hank and I had this formula. Like all of my, see, I don't have like waste songs, like songs that like weren't good. I've written a few and they're all pretty damn good. But I had a lot of help. It was that formula that we had. And so Hank would like come off with a little riff of some kind, you know, and he'd start playing that. And then Red, my husband, he would hum a melody to me, and then I would just write words, and it happened over and over and over and over. There's very few songs that, I mean, there's a few that I've written by myself, but for the most part it was all a collective. I don't do it by myself. I don't like to play by myself. It's not fun.
Really?
And that's why I'm not any good.
See, I prefer to write by myself.
Not me. I like it to be a group effort. And that's why people ask me all the time, why don't you just do some solo stuff? Because I have discipline for all kinds of things in my life. Sitting down and making myself get better at an instrument is not it.
Really?
It's not it.
I have no desire playing alone. I hate doing solo shows, but when I'm writing, I don't like outside interference. Now, if something happens organically, like we had a jam the other day where we just came up with a riff and we all wrote it together
just
on
jumped
the
in.
spot.
Yeah.
And that's fine if it happens organically, but as far as like sitting down and writing with other people.
Oh, we used to have creative practices.
Really?
Yeah, we would have, yeah, it's like, okay, well, this week we used to practice on Sundays. When we first started, it was really cool because Hank's wife, who is a very good friend of mine still to this day, she works with me. She was kind of like, she would kind of take care of the kids. Like we'd meet up on Sunday. I would bring food. She would make food. We would eat together, and our kids would play together, and we would jam. And it was kind of a family thing.
Yeah.
It was like everybody hung together.
Sure.
You know, and the kids played together and got into all kinds of trouble. Yeah, and so it was kind of a family thing, and then you know it morphed over the years, and but yeah.
I mean, I think that it's a cool concept. It's just a time suck.
Yeah.
Like writing song. Like I think that's part of the reason. Like the guys in Durham were tired of doing albums is because it takes up so much time to get the arrangement down.
Yeah.
You know, you can spend an hour working on one song. Whereas
but when you get it,
I know
there's nothing like it. There's nothing like we had this song that I wrote, and I think I might have actually put that one together by myself. I wouldn't swear to it, but I think so. Dipstick. I have a song called Dipstick.
All right.
And the ladies love Dipstick. It's kind of a girl power, you know, kind of tune.
All right.
And I would love when I would look up and these ladies were singing my song. There is nothing like that. And the guys, they liked that song too. And it was funny because they would do the little backup parts, and the lyrics were something like, it talks about I wear ribbons and I wear pearls, and the guys are back there singing these girly notes. I don't know. It was just super fun. There's nothing like it when it comes together and everybody's into it. And yeah.
Did you write poetry as a child?
Lots of it.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of it.
When you're approaching a song, do you typically go into it with like what's your process for writing lyrics?
Well, usually, like when we were doing it, like our little trio formula thing, I would kind of try to catch the vibe of what the tone of the song was.
Certainly.
One song that we wrote, the guys kept saying they wanted a murder ballad. They're like, we need a murder ballad. Because our band was kind of, we played bluegrass instruments,
right,
but we didn't play them in a traditional way, really. It was kind of a fusion band, I guess you would say. I hate that word, but I would say that's kind of what it was. And Red kept saying, we need a murder ballad. We need a murder ballad. And man, Hank come off with this really dark sounding thing. And we worked on that song for a long time. They'd play it on loop. And I recorded it one night. I was like, all right, it's going to take me a minute to get this together. Yeah. And the next time I wouldn't sing it to him. I was just writing. I wouldn't sing it. I said, I'm not singing it till I have it all together. And so the next time we got together, I said, okay, I'm ready. And I start singing the song, and Red's over there playing. And boy, he got to looking at me, and he stopped and he goes, dang, babe. He said, that's dark. I said, you asked for a murder ballad. That's one of the things that I kind of liked about your podcast was that it was, pretty open.
Yeah, I don't like
not
that.
A lot of, not a lot of.
It feels disingenuous. I hate jump cuts. If I'm watching somebody and they're doing those jump cuts, because, I mean, the conversation is the conversation.
Right.
That's why I like Rogan's format. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
And going back to, circling back around. Right. To initially, kind of the politics thing. Right. Like you said, you try and stay out of it. I honestly don't even think about it after election season. Like, it's not part of my identity. I go and I vote.
I do.
And then I keep up with things.
Especially lately, I do.
I keep up with it and I follow it, but I have no control over it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And
well, kind of yes and no. I think there are things that we can do to change things. And so I've always kind of been a history nerd. Like, that was a thing. Like in school, when I was a teenager, I was really into history. And when I was in the 8th grade, we had a history project. And I kind of delved into Kent State and that whole deal. And like
you want to give a breakdown of that? Because
Kent State. Okay, so Kent State there were some college students that were protesting because President Nixon ran on and said that he was going to get our boys out of Vietnam. He said, this is what I'm doing. Then he got in and he attacked Cambodia. And these kids were really upset about it. You lied. Right. You lied. You did something you said you weren't going to do. And they were protesting. Right. So when the protest started, it was peaceful. Well, the government didn't like it anyway. Or the governor, not the government, the governor, he didn't like it. And he kind of went in and he was threatening. He was making some threats. He was saying things about martial law, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. He wasn't actually going to do it. He was really just running his mouth.
Bluffing.
But it started rumors. That started rumors. And so then the National Guard shows up. And the kids bow up because they're bowing up at them. Right. It's a puff up contest. Yeah. And I think that's what happens in general. Yeah. Protesting, it's not gonna always be peaceful. It can't. It can't. It's historically, it gets violent. And unfortunately, that's where things change. Yeah. Unfortunately, it takes that to, MLK. People talk about MLK and how he was nonviolent. Yeah, he was nonviolent. He didn't want it to be that way, but it turned that way. Let's talk about Selma. 600 people. The cops just start firing and acting like buttholes.
So tell when was Selma?
Selma was in 63. I believe that was 63.
Okay. Early 60s.
Okay. Yeah. And so there are only 4 deaths associated with that particular protest.
You'll have to educate me on this as well. I'm not familiar with this.
Well, let's go back to Kent State because I need to finish what I was saying there. Yeah. So Kent State, these 4 kids get popped with bullets and they're dead.
Damn.
They're dead. Neil Young's song, Ohio, that song is about that protest.
Okay.
So I kind of, over the years, I've always kind of had an interest in these things. And I always felt like it, it's a job that has to be done. And so these kids die. One of them, he wasn't even in on the protest. He didn't have anything to do with it. He was just walking by and they mowed him down with bullets. Yeah. So, I mean, these things happen. Yeah. So Selma was voting issues, I believe. I wouldn't swear to that. Don't hold me to that. I think it was voting issues. So it's like 1865 or whatever, 1863. 3 and 5 are kind of big years. So like 1863, I think, is when Lincoln says, we're done with this. Yeah. 1865 is when Juneteenth happens and it's like true blue, this is happening.
Yeah.
But then we go into the Jim Crow laws.
Mhm.
And so here we are, civil rights movement in 1963.
Yeah.
We're 100 years
Yeah.
later, and these people are still having a problem getting their vote in, man. They're doing things to make it to where they can't do.
Pretty wild.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so
What year did women get the vote? What was the year?
1920 is
it
when
20?
we had to fight for that shit.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have a credit card until 1970. We
that
had to have a
right?
daddy or a husband to sign for that. And so this is where I'm getting amped. So I feel like myself, I'm not really a feminist. I'm not really an extremist. These are pretty bare minimum things we're asking for here. Just to be able to vote and be equal and eat at the same restaurant
absolutely.
and drink out of the same fountain and go to the same school.
Absolutely.
So I say all of that
But
to
we
say,
have come a long way.
we have, but there's still things going on. There's still things happening. And as I think it's really, really important, as white folks, you're just as white as me, I think it's really important for us to take a look from somebody else's standpoint.
Sure.
And, and then I talk to people, I didn't even, I wasn't around like a lot of black people as a kid. I
Right.
grew up around here.
Yeah.
My family is, a lot of them are quite racist.
Yeah.
And I never understood that. It was always weird to me. Like I would hear them say things and I'd think, man, that ain't right.
Yeah.
Like that's not right. My little grandma, she wasn't that way.
Right.
She lived in Fayetteville. She, took me to the football games and the basketball games, and we
Yeah.
went to Springfest every year. And she had friends that were black, and she had friends that were Hispanic, and she had friends that were Filipino, and she had gay friends, and all kinds of different people that were in my life.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to step into somebody else's shoes
Yeah.
and listen to what they're saying.
I had one of my heroes growing up was Hassani Moss, who was he was the running back for Farmington Cardinals. He was 3 years older than me, but in junior high, he was a stud, man. He was a badass running back.
Yeah.
And, I thought this kid had, everything in the world. It's one of the only black students we had in school. It's Farmington, Arkansas. That's where we are. And I had him on recently, a few months ago, to hear his story and to hear his perspective of all the racist shit that he went through growing up in this town in the 80s.
It's happening.
like,
it happens.
I know it happens. It's just, if you don't see it,
Right.
it's hard to believe that anyone would hate somebody just because of the color of their skin.
They do.
I know it does happen.
And they hate for there's back when I was interviewing players for our band, one of the first things that I would say is, do you have a problem with women? Do you have a problem with the fact that I lead this band, I do all of our financial stuff,
Right.
and I make the set lists and I organize the practices. Do you have a problem with that? And there were some that did.
Yeah.
People will hate you based on your skin color, no matter what it is. Whether
Well,
it's
was
black,
your
white,
was your
whatever.
band collaborative though, or were you like micromanaging everything?
No, we were definitely collaborative,
Yeah.
but I wanted to know if I'm dealing with some butthole guy
Right.
that thinks he's better than me because he has a wiener,
Right.
because it happens.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not a feminist.
Yeah.
I just want somebody that's not gonna, be a butthole.
Well, I think a part of it is lived experience, right? You have to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes,
Sure.
and that's hard for some people to do. And it's also you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Like
is one of the reasons I'm here.
right. Like the female experience is a totally different experience than the male
Yeah,
experience.
things are different.
And
And I am so fortunate to be married to a man that is, dude, Red's cool as a fan. Like he may not get it, like he can't get it because he's a dude, but he tries to get it. And he's never treated our girls like, like there's anything that they can't do because they're girls.
Sure. Absolutely. But you still believe in femininity.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
I'm the girliest girl you'll ever meet.
right.
But I'm also,
But
I'll
you
get
can
out there and
be-
get on that side by side and drive that
Yeah.
sucker right up the side of a mountain too.
Yeah.
I carry a pocket knife. I'm definitely a girl.
I think with entertainment, what you see a lot of time is their interpretation of a strong female is to make them masculine. A lot of times, and it's like you can still be feminine.
Oh yeah.
And be, like my wife's my hero, and she does so much for this family. She homeschools, she works nights.
Yeah.
It's like she puts so much into it, but she's still feminine.
Yeah.
And it's like, like Princess Leia or
Right.
Ripley from Alien. I grew up; those were my heroes too. Didn't matter if they were
men
women.
and women are meant to help each other.
Yes.
And we have our strengths. There's things that Red is super genius about that
Right.
I can't do.
No.
And there's things that
but,
I'm
yeah.
super genius about that he can't do.
Well, it's
gotta
all
learn
about
how to lean.
complimenting each other.
You gotta learn
there's
to
certain
lean.
things that you break tasks down into masculine and feminine
Yeah,
tasks.
it doesn't work that way.
It should be whatever works for the family, for the
Right.
individual.
Right.
Like there's certain things that I do that a wife might do in another family, and vice versa.
Yeah. Red vacuumed the rug this morning.
Whatever.
And I was like, thank you, Red, for
Yeah.
vacuuming that rug, because I've been sitting here
Yeah.
drinking my coffee thinking that really needed to be done.
Right. Well, I think to me, it is about equality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The man shouldn't run the household. They should run it in cooperation with the wife.
And be grateful to each other. Be kind and grateful to each other. I think we've been married for 20, we've been together for 23 years. We've been married for 21 years. It'll be 22 this summer.
That's awesome.
And we were a couple of broken, messy people when we got together. And
you said you've been married 21?
To be 22 years
And
in
you guys
July.
haven't ever had a fight either, have you?
Dude, I packed my crap and left. I did. I packed my stuff up and I left for a whole month. I called his sister up and I said, hey, are you looking for a roommate? She was like, yeah, maybe. She said, well, I don't know. It would depend on who it is. And I said, what if it was me? And she was like, oh, that would be awesome. And then she's like, wait a minute. What did my brother do?
Right.
And we had just come to a place where I had been doing so much. I'd been doing all of the things for so many years, and I felt very unseen, very unheard, like I was just the guy in the background doing all the stuff, and the communication wasn't working, and I literally had a nervous breakdown. And when I left there, it wasn't I'm leaving you, we're getting a divorce. That's not what it was. It was like, I gotta have a timeout.
I need to have some.
So I stayed with his sister for a month, and we rode our bicycles to the gym, and we swam in the pool at her apartment every night, and we cooked dinner together, and we painted, and like we had the best time. And Red learned how to do some stuff. He would call me and say, well, how do I run this washing machine? Which is hilarious because I've seen that man pull it apart and work on it in the living room floor, but he didn't know how to run it.
Right.
Didn't know how to grocery shop.
Yeah.
I'd done all these things for all those years.
I'd say I'd be lost without my wife.
Yeah.
Like all the things she does.
Yeah.
I mean, insane.
But he learned, and I learned.
But what's interesting is I think a lot of young people when they get married, and I know young people who have just gotten married, and I think they think that marriage is just going to be bliss forever, and we're going to be in this honeymoon phase fucking 3 times a day.
And sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is, but it's a battlefield sometimes, I remember, we had been married 7 years when we moved. So we bought this property in 2014 and built this building, and the intention was to move in here and build the house the next year, save up a little bit. And so we moved in here in October of 2014 with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. In December, we found out we were having a third. And then the 15 acres next to us came up for sale, which was not the original deal. My buddy James Gibson, are you familiar with James Gibson, Gibson Realty? He is the one who we bought this from. He's a friend of mine, but he was going to live back there on his 40 acres. Well, he decided he was going to quarter it up. And I was like, dude, that's going to put 3 families driving past. We just got out in the country to get away from all this. And sell me that easement, man, whatever it is. And he's like, if you'll buy 10 acres from me, I'll sell you the easement. Done. Gave me a great deal on it. But it put the house plans away for a little bit.
Right.
So we lived in this building with 3 kids for 5 years.
Wow.
And you talk about, like, just needing, like, I would go up in the attic. Like in the winter, I had a rope, but I could pull it up, and I'd be up there just like reading a book just to kind of get away.
Get away, yeah.
Because if you're on top of each other all the time, but also the kids learn to play outside.
Yeah.
You know, all day, every day. Like
you got woods.
Yeah.
Use them.
Oh man,
my kids still play in the woods.
Isn't that great? You don't see that
They're
as much
25
anymore.
and 18, and they still play in the woods.
Dude, it's fun. We went on a big walk yesterday through the woods, looking at Theo's trail, and just man, I feel like kids today don't get enough out, like playing outside.
Grown-ups today don't play outside enough.
That's fair too.
I actually missed a pretty fun ride today to be here.
Well, thank you for missing it.
Yeah, we do, you know, side by sides, and we camp a lot. And that kind of stuff, and it's.
I do appreciate you coming on to talk.
Oh, absolutely! I've been excited to do this.
So, what ultimately made you come on? I know you said you have a business, and you're obviously concerned about optics and those kinds of things. What was ultimately the reason you decided to come on?
Talking back and forth with you, I realized that, you know, I wasn't going to be like grilled.
I have no intention of blindsiding.
Right?
I don't like that.
No,
shit. I treat people the way I would want to be
right.
treated.
Well, and like you were a stranger.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know you at all. You don't know me at all.
True. Yeah.
And then I listened to a few episodes and. You know, realized that you had interviewed like several people that I know, and I listened to their interviews and how I feel like it was a good dialogue. Yeah. And if people were to listen to that, they might learn to talk to other people too.
So going all the way back to the first thing,
right? How
do we get to a point where we can do this again? Because I feel like it's so hyperpolarized that
I don't know that we can, and that's the dead truth. We've gone we went far. Way too far.
We've gone too far.
It's out of the box. It's out of the box, and it's.
It is so unfortunate. It breaks my heart.
It does mine too.
Are going to grow up in this absolute hateful world, and for somebody that's in the middle like myself, that you know, I think there's a lot of great Democratic ideas. I think there's great Republican ideas. The problem is you have to side 100%. With everything. Or
George Washington, on his way out the door, the last thing he said at his departure was, "This 2-party thing is a bad idea, bro." Yeah. He said it. It was the last thing he said on his way out.
Yeah.
That it was not a good idea.
Yeah,
it's not. And
awful.
If we don't find something that's kind of in the middle, it's like you either have to be a total socialist or a complete fascist, and there's no in between.
Right.
And we've got to find if people would kick in and vote third party, we have had some good candidates.
Well, the Libertarian Party's a fucking mess.
Yeah, I mean, but there have been some that were good enough. And it's funny, I just realized a couple of days ago that I'm registered as a Republican. Right. I don't remember signing up for that, but I guess because one of the first times I voted, I have voted both ways. Yeah, I have voted both ways. Sure. I have voted third party. I've always been really enthusiastic about. Being able to vote. I couldn't wait. Do you remember back in the day when MTV was doing Rock the Vote?
Oh, yeah.
They made it so cool. Yeah. I couldn't wait to do it. I was always interested in that kind of thing. And having a voice and an opinion and being able to use that, it's important. And I almost feel like it doesn't even matter. And I think a lot of people feel like it doesn't even matter and that things are rigged and it doesn't matter what we do.
As somebody who's, followed a lot of Cash Patel, Dan Bongino's comments about getting in there and getting the files and getting justice, I have just lost all faith in the system. Yeah. I mean, completely.
I mean, we know that there were nefarious things that have happened. And as somebody that is a sexual abuse survivor, not victim. I'm a survivor of that.
I like that you use that term.
Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
Like that, it doesn't matter how long ago, it doesn't matter. The people that are involved in that need to be hung by their boot heels. I don't care who it is. I don't care if they're a Democrat or Republican.
More heinous, and this Epstein thing was so.
It's sick.
It's like something out of a movie.
It is.
It's like something you can't even fathom. I saw the video of him chasing the girl around the kitchen, and it just made my that's somebody's daughter. I don't know. It's disgusting, but the system is built to protect itself.
It is.
Even if you get good people in there, they get bought or coerced, or your enemies are going to try and find out everything they can about you. I had a local story down in Mountain Home. A buddy of mine was telling me, guy gets elected that he knew, and first thing they do is the party he got elected by takes him out to a strip club, gets these girls to sit in his lap, takes a bunch of pictures, and then it's like, you don't want your wife to see this, right? We need you to vote this way on this thing. Like, they get you immediately. Or with money. Like, these NGOs can just, I don't know if you've seen House of Cards. Did you ever watch any of that show? Both Obama and Clinton have said that it's the most realistic show about Washington, D.C. I couldn't even get through the first season by myself because it grossed me out so much. Like, it is so nasty. And it's like when John Fetterman, I remember a lot of, so being in the middle, I'm not conservative enough for conservatives, and I'm too conservative for the left.
Yeah, me too.
Monkey in the middle is how you put it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just can't win. But I remember when John Fetterman got elected, he was wearing a hoodie to the Senate. I had a bunch of people on the road like, he's disrespecting our sacred buildings with the, and it's like, bro, he's in the most gross criminal place where the most evil shit has ever happened. Really, do we need to respect that building?
Yeah.
These people are doing all kinds of nasty deals. How do these politicians go in on a $200,000 salary and come out millionaires?
Yeah.
It is rules for me, or not for me. They use people to get elected. Then the people are no longer needed, and now it's my agenda and what I want to accomplish. They straight up lie. Both sides do it. They all do it.
Yeah, and always have.
And they always have. And I think, for me, what sucks is, like, starting with COVID, it's like every year you learn that what you thought you knew was a lie.
Yeah.
And everything's fake.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. We're ruled by elite pedophiles.
Yeah.
So I don't think Jeffrey Epstein was working alone. I think he had handlers.
Oh yeah,
but
that's a big.
But you're not allowed to say who.
No, it's a big operation.
I mean, I don't know. This guy just makes my skin crawl. But the moment when Trump got asked about the files in the Oval Office, and he goes, "Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein, that creep?" It's like, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, we
are still talking
that.
about it. Thomas Massey's the only goddamn Republican who has been fighting, and he got the damn act passed, the Transparency Act, and they still haven't released everything.
No, I don't think anything will come of it. I don't
think so either. I have zero faith.
I hate to
zero faith.
Say that. It's awful, but I don't think anything. I think everybody will get away with everything they've gotten away with and continue to get away with it.
And that is where it gets so fucked up, because damn well if we were to do something like that, we'd never see the light of day again.
I think there's a lot of icky people that do a lot of icky things that you'll never ever know.
Really? Even that get caught and prosecuted?
Well, I mean, yeah, like if it ever comes to that kind of light, if it ever goes to justice.
I know there's a lot of shit that goes on that they aren't going to get caught, but, like, if your average Joe gets prosecuted for a thing,
right,
he's going to, it's a completely different stand. It's a two-tiered justice system.
Yeah.
These guys can commit all kinds.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
That's what I'm getting at, basically.
Yes,
it's just
absolutely.
That it's a two-tiered justice system, and once you achieve a certain level of power, you are immune.
Yeah.
From everything.
Well, and I think a lot of times the reason that things don't come to light is because people like me that have been through something awful. Um, People don't tell because what's the point? These guys are getting away. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And sometimes it comes back on you, like, shoot the messenger kind of thing. You know, you say this happened to me, and there's been things. I can't really. I have to be careful what I say. I have to be careful what I say. But there have been situations of somebody very close to me that was abused in a horrible way, and when that person came out and told their family this happened to me, it was no, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Really?
That didn't happen. Not only did it not happen, you're a liar. You made that up. This wasn't me, but it was someone very close to me. You made that up, and the mother of this person and the brother of this person have gone around and told other people that this person's lying about that. That never happened. And I know for a fact it did. Why would somebody lie about that?
Well, there can...
This person.
Yeah, I get that. But there are motivations where
sure.
people could lie about
Sure.
that.
But
yeah,
this one,
in this situation, why would you not...
This one, no.
Yeah, well, yeah. Then this probably, but like if you're with a rich senator or something,
sure.
I mean, you can have a motivation.
Absolutely.
It's funny how many sexual scandals happen during election season. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, anyway, but that's awful that you wouldn't take the word at face value.
Yeah.
Like,
well, in a lot of cases,
and again, these are experiences I
sure.
can't have had.
In a lot of cases, I feel like people can't take accountability. You know, like a lot of times a kid or a person will tell their parent that something happened, and the parent will deny it because that means they didn't do a good job as a parent. That's not really true. You know, my parents never abused me in that way or physically abused me in any way. And I don't think that they're like bad people because things happened to me.
Sure.
I mean, there's definitely things they probably could have done that would have prevented some things. But they never would have put me in harm's way on purpose.
Absolutely right.
And, yeah, so I feel like a lot of times it's self-preservation.
Yeah.
It's like people just can't. And I think as parents, like that's something we need to be able to do, even over like, you know, less intense situations. You know, we need to be able to say, I did this wrong. I did this wrong. And my oldest child was just telling me recently, she said... She's
25?
Yes. Yeah. She'll be 26 in April.
Okay. And the younger one's how old?
18. She'll be 19 next month.
Okay.
So, yeah, my oldest was just telling me the other day, she said, you know, my friends are always complaining about this, that, and the other thing, you know, with their parents. And she said, and I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, I can't identify with that because my mom went to therapy. My mom went and worked. Yeah, I did a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
But I worked so hard at it, and I have for years.
Yeah.
Worked really hard to be self-aware and to own up to my stuff because I have stuff. I've made lots of mistakes.
Oh, absolutely.
For one thing, I was 17 years old when that little girl was born.
Sure.
I was a baby.
Yeah.
I graduated high school with a 3.8 GPA and a newborn.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you talk about accountability as parents. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, the mirror has to be held up to you.
Yeah.
Remember my, gosh, how old was he when we moved next door? 9. So my oldest son punched a hole in the drywall when he got mad.
Oh, no.
And I was like, he observed that from me. Not that I punch holes in walls, but
Sure.
if I get mad, I'll go outside and start pounding on a tree or something.
Sure.
I had such a bad temper.
I'm part of that in Greek club too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
started young
my
too.
Irish roots, man, and I would get violent in front of him, and I knew damn well that
it was a learned
that
behavior.
is a mirror.
Yeah.
It was like, and it made me conscious, self-conscious about those kinds of behaviors. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to have it reflected back at you before you change.
Yeah.
But got to a point where it's like I want to be a good example for my kids. You know,
Yeah.
there's certain flaws I have. You know, I'm never going to be perfect. Never.
Sure.
But if I can just be a little bit better every day, 1% even, you know,
That should be everybody's goal.
you just you want them to be able to look up to you, and ultimately what you want to do is maintain a relationship with them.
Yes.
If you don't have a close relationship with them to you, you lose them.
Yeah.
And you know, I had a rocky relationship with my parents for a long time. You know, I was a hellion in high school, but I also felt like I grew up in a very strict religious environment, and you know, I kind of had the rebellious things. But until I was a parent, I couldn't understand that my mom was doing what she thought was best to protect me.
Right.
I might disagree with how some of it was done, but as a parent, that's ultimately what you want. Right, is to protect your kids. But like you said, being self-aware of yourself and being able to adapt and change. I feel like some parents just it's like, this is the way my daddy did it.
Yeah.
It's the way I'm going to do it. And
well,
it's like, bro,
you know, I feel like my parents both had rough childhoods for sure.
Yeah.
And there's some pretty serious mental illness in my family. It goes down the line. I come from a long line of, and I think I am the first one that was like, this isn't right. Like things are wrong. I feel like my mom.
Hold on a second. That dog's about to jump through the door. Mama's home, so he's gonna
bounce.
He's gonna run. Yeah,
What's his mommy?
He loves that.
I love that.
That's
so
she
sweet.
Says, well, she said, I wish everybody loved me as much as this dog.
I say that about Bernie Mac too.
When she comes in the door, like he jumps.
Yes, he loves her.
Let's go see Mama.
That's sweet.
Let's go see Mama. You wanna come or not?
Go see her.
Let's go see Mama. Jules, you got a Mo coming to see you.
I love that.
She loves that fucking dog.
Yeah, we're that way with Mac too. Red always, when he hears me pull in, Bernie jumps up and runs to the garage door, and Red opens and lets him out to greet me at my car door.
And we got this. We were talking about the pit bull. You know, my father-in-law has always had a pit bull, and I think this one is Spike 3. He just got a new one, and they were on vacation, so we dog sat it while they were gone, and it was a puppy, and the kids were like, we gotta have one of these. And it just turned out that somebody my wife works with had adopted a baby pit, and they realized that they didn't have the time or the resources to take care
they're
of
pretty needy. Can be.
Yeah, and of course, I told you, or I don't know if we were on camera or not, but I basically said, no, we don't need another dog. We've got 4 dogs, and of course the family I was dead to them.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, fine, get the damn thing, let it be on you if it goes wrong. And now that dog sleeps with me every night, and because my wife works nights, so I'm alone in that bed, and now I got some warmth. You know, I used to have a cat, Butters, that I had for 15 years. It was my cuddle pillow, and so when we moved out here, some people built up there in a house, and their hunting dogs got loose, and they came over and killed my cat, and it was devastating to me.
Oh no!
And after that, it's like I feel like your heart gets broke so hard that you're like, I'm never loving an animal again. And so I always am keeping these animals at a distance, and then they slowly fucking find their way into your heart.
And you can't help it. That's exactly the deal with Bernie. I had a beagle that I got. He was a little bitty baby, and I got him, and he was my boy for 14 years.
Yeah.
And we lost him, and I was without a dog for a year. And I'm
but
a
you
dog
almost
freak.
don't want to get it. It feels disrespectful, you know.
Yes,
like getting remarried the day after your wife
right,
dies. Like, I got to give the dog some space. But then at the same time, you want.
Yes.
You know.
Well, luckily for me, my clients, most of them have dogs that I am so attached to.
Really.
And so I got lots of doggy love, you know, through that.
Well, you're going into their homes.
Yeah.
And seeing.
Yeah, and some of them I've been with for years. I had one dog that she was probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old when I started there, and she passed away last year, and I cleaned that house for over 13 years.
What's your oldest client, or how?
That one was my oldest client. Yeah.
Dang, that's insane.
Yeah. But I have several that I've had for like 8 to 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, I don't take on very many. Like I think I have 13. I say I have a baker's dozen. I think that's what I have right now.
There you go.
And most of them have been with me for a pretty good long time. It's rare that I ever have an opening, and I'm really picky about, like, you have to meet my criteria.
What is your criteria?
My criteria is you have to know somebody that I know personally that can vouch for you.
Okay.
I don't clean for strangers.
Really?
No. And the reason for that is mainly my safety, for one thing.
Yeah, that could be intimidating
yeah.
as a woman going into some strange.
Yeah, safety is a big thing.
Yeah.
And plus, if I come and clean for you and, you decide you don't want to pay me, or you write me a rubber check.
Yep.
Somebody's probably not going to do that if Uncle Joe Bob is my friend.
Right.
And so
well,
it's just
perfect sense.
Just a little extra insurance.
But I mean, you have a very valuable service, so I'm sure you have no trouble finding people if you need it.
Not usually. For years and years, I had a waiting list, and it's not really like that anymore. It's a little harder for me nowadays because I am a legit business, and I do have to charge quite a bit more than I did when I first started.
Sure.
So it's pretty expensive.
Well, I mean,
and so people don't want to do that a lot of times.
The dollar has fallen so far in the last 7 years. I mean, I remember COVID. We were rolling. We were putting money back, making less money.
Yeah.
And now it's like week to week.
COVID didn't affect my business the way that it did a lot of people. I only had one house that I didn't do during that. And that lady respected my time so much that she didn't want me to come clean for her own safety reasons, and she sent me a check every 2 weeks for 2 or 3 months.
Wow!
Until she wanted to hold her place. She wanted to hold her place.
It's like a retainer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I just mean just in general the inflation over.
Oh yeah, yeah. It definitely changed things that way for sure.
It's and the middle class always gets fucked.
Yeah.
And what bothers me the most about COVID, through all the lies and all the bullshit, was how many small businesses closed down forever because they didn't have the right to hold their doors open, even if they wanted to.
Right.
Because to me, freedom is the ultimate value, and I'm going to vote for who I think is going to provide the most freedom. I think the businesses should have been able to remain open if they wanted to.
If they wanted to,
the customers have a choice to go or not.
I agree. Yeah.
So,
I do agree with that.
And that makes me so sick because the small businesses are the backbone of America, and you've just systematically wiped out thousands of them that will never come back. Yeah. And where does that money go? Straight up, the mom and pop restaurant that had to close, well, now it's going to the chain restaurant, right? Yeah. The little general store, mom and pop, now it's going to the big box retailers.
That's true.
And so that's why it's hard for me to think that COVID was an accident. It benefited the elite so much. Now, can
I don't know. I mean,
prove
historically,
that? No, but
historically, like, pandemics happen. And here again, here's my history nerd popping up.
Yeah, I love it.
When that first started happening, so it changed the way that things go for me at work. Like my daily routine was different. For many years, I was by myself all day long. I could just sing and do whatever I wanted to do. Nobody's home. I'm just vacuuming, singing my songs. Everybody's home. Everybody's home. And in some cases, there's 2 or 3 people home, and they're all trying to work, and I gotta shut my big fat mouth.
Oh no.
That was the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
So I would have somebody in an office over here working, and somebody in an office over here working, and I had to time my my vacuuming, and it was kind of a mess.
Sucks.
It was a little bit of a mess. I love seeing my people. I do. I love all my clients. Or if you're on my client list, I like you. I like you, and I like you pretty good, or you wouldn't be there.
Where were you born?
Here.
Like Northwest Arkansas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, right there in Springdale.
Every now and then I catch just a hint of a Southern accent. You cover it well, but every now and then...
Well, and it kind of depends.
It sneaks out.
It does, and it depends on who I'm with. You get me around, like, certain cousins, man, I sound like cornbread. It just comes out.
As soon as if I start talking to my neighbor, it's like you adapt. You just go right into it. You're like, yeah, I don't understand what they're doing up there at Corey down there. They're just fucking everything up, man. I can't... Them dump trucks coming out of the road on 24/7. And you're just all of a sudden speaking another language.
Yeah, I'm from here.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like I cover it pretty well, but there's certain things or certain people you're around, like you said. You get around it and you slip it right back in.
Yeah. So everything had kind of changed, and I started wearing headphones and listening to podcasts. That's when I got into podcasts.
Okay, cool. And so what podcasts were you listening to there at the beginning?
So I wanted to learn about the Spanish flu because we were going through a pandemic.
Yeah. And that was, what year was that?
It was the thing I had to compare to. The Spanish flu, oh my gosh, don't get me lying. I want to say it was about 100-year roll. I want to say it was like 100 years before.
Yeah.
I wouldn't swear.
Was it early 1900s or late 1800s?
Yeah. I can't believe I don't remember that. Because I really, man, I just listened and listened and listened and studied and listened.
When was the Spanish flu? Question mark.
I want to say it was like
1918.
1918. Okay.
1918.
So yeah, it was 100-year roll.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird how that happens? How things run 100 years from, like, wow. It takes 100 years to get some shit done.
Sometimes.
That's what it is.
Unfortunately. But you have so many, it's like I don't even believe in Republican and Democrat anymore. They're both wings of the same bird. I think it's a tool used to divide us at this point. Because it's tribal.
I think it always has been.
Agreed.
And I think that we see it a lot more because we're all out there screaming it on social media. Because used to, it wasn't polite to talk about
politics,
how much money you make.
Nope.
You don't talk about how much money you make. You don't talk about politics, and you don't talk about religion. It ain't polite.
Yep.
That's how it used to be.
That's how it was growing up.
On one hand, I wish it was that way. But on the other hand, we do need to talk about things. We just don't need to do it the way we've been doing it.
No, I agree. But also, a lot of people won't have the conversations. Like, I've had a lot of people say, you voted for Trump, you're a racist piece of shit, I will never come on your podcast. I'm like, bruh, you don't even know me. You're just, and that's why I said, like, my biggest pet peeve is that, like, anybody who voted for Trump is a racist and a bigot and a homophobe. And it's like, you don't know my motivations for why I voted for him.
Well, and, I've voted both ways, and I've voted third party. Sure. Trump, I don't know. I do kind of wonder about a person's brain. I do, because, man, I'll never forget when he first, like, announced that he was running. I'm like, really? Are we being punked? I kept waiting for Ashton Kutcher to pop out.
Right.
And just because this guy is, I guess I've always seen the just yucky. He's just yucky. Like, but I can't get past
do you let his existence ruin your daily life?
Right now, it's bothering me a lot.
Really?
Yeah. The video he posted of his little AI video of the Obamas yesterday.
Yeah.
As apes, which is historically a very racist way to slam a black person.
Right.
Yep, that bothers me real bad. And the fact that it's just, this is the president of the United States of America.
Why do you think?
Why would he even be posting something like, even if it wasn't racist, even if it was, why is he allowed to run his mouth and his Twitter like that? Like that, it's just so unprofessional. He is a very unprofessional man.
Right.
He's just so unprofessional. And the way that he talks to women just makes me sick.
Which women?
The reporters, have you not called that girl a piggy? Shush, little piggy. You don't talk to women. He shouldn't talk to a man that way.
Yeah.
But he was doing it in a, it was intentional. It was intentional and disgusting.
Why do you think he won in a landslide?
You don't want to know the answer to that.
No, I'm curious. Why do you think he won?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Hillary had the popular vote. She damn well didn't get one of mine.
This time.
Oh.
In 2024. Why do you think he won so bigly?
Bigly. Bigly.
We won bigly. All 7 swing states.
Oh, Lord of mercy. I don't know. Maybe that was rigged too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It absolutely perplexes my little brain.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't see how anybody could think that is a good option.
I think I can only speak for myself. I wanted somebody to tear the system down. The system is broken, it's corrupt.
It is, but
and he gave us the best shot to shake up and expose.
Oh, he's shaking stuff up.
Yeah.
He is showing up. Showing his
Thomas
butt.
Jefferson said we need a revolution every 20 years. And like you said, we're so far down. I don't see a way of getting back to having conversations.
I don't either.
Then he got in there.
I mean, there's a lot of people like, my.
That's the fucking dogs. Wouldn't shut all the way.
That's so funny. He's the one in there. Hi, sweetheart.
He might die.
Where's you? Oh, baby. Oh, my goodness. Are you ancient? Are you ancient? Poor
yeah, I didn't think he was going to make it through the winter.
Oh, how old are you, baby?
He's 15 now.
15 years old, little sweetheart. Oh, my goodness.
I really like Thomas Massey.
I don't know.
I mean, he pushed for the Epstein files. He goes against Trump, and Trump's trying to get him primaried. I feel like he's one of the only... Him and John Fetterman are the only 2 politicians, I think, that have any actual real love for the country or the Constitution, which is sad.
I think that we need something fresh. I think they're going to have to...
But how can you do it if these people are just going to get controlled and bought as soon as they get in? We're fucked. Even Trump got bought, and I didn't think that was possible. That was one of the things I liked about him. It was like, hey, he might be an asshole, but at least we know
I think a lot of people,
who he is.
I think a lot of people thought that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people thought that.
But how do you fix a system like this? It's broken. Even if you got your dream candidate in there, they're going to get compromised. Imagine if you got a job and then somebody showed you a picture of your kid on the playground. It's that easy to compromise someone.
I don't know. I feel like the Obamas didn't get bought. I feel like that was a successful presidency.
But you don't know the behind the scenes. None of us do. We don't know. We only know what we're told.
Yeah.
We don't have access to the intelligence briefings and all the shit that, there's 2 levels of information. We're just getting told what they want us to know. And it goes up so high.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who own the news stations, right? And then they have people over them. I mean, it's just puppetry under puppetry under puppetry. And I really don't know the way out. I don't know. I'm really, truly asking.
I know what I see with my own eyes, though.
Sure.
I know when I see a person act and speak as a professional and as a decent human being.
Yeah.
And I don't... Did you watch the debates?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like, Kamala mopped the floor with that dude. Like, I just feel like, hi, pumpkin. Hi. Oh, my goodness. I feel like it was a no-brainer to me. I mean, I held my nose and did the thing. Like, I really would have rather had a whole nother, different... You want to get up there?
I don't even know if you can make that jump anymore, pal.
Baby. What's his name?
Hemmett.
Emmett. That sweet baby.
Yeah, I'm so black-pilled on all of it, and I don't see a way out of it. But more importantly, rather than focusing on all these politics, none of that's going to change. What makes me sad is that the individuals, like you and I, who are all getting screwed by the system, are so polarized.
You want to try to do it?
You want to come up, buddy?
He wants
I hate to grab him because he's so old and his bones hurt.
Right.
You want to come up?
He wants up there.
He wants up pretty bad, doesn't he?
Baby.
All right.
Dear.
It's just the lack of respect that we've had for each other.
Yeah.
And and like you said, you get a laughing emoji when you post a comment, and there's just so much disrespect.
I know internally, like, I've always been a little different than the people I grew up with, the people I hang out with. Like, me and Red are always kind of like the odd people out no matter where we are. Because with, a lot of the like hobbies that we have are kind of things that like more Republican-y people do. And there are times where I hear things being said, and sometimes I will say something, and a lot of times I don't. And I have one friend in particular that he is notorious for just trying to talk about that stuff with me. And I know that he and I can't do it.
Right.
I know that it's not an option for me and him to talk about that.
Right.
Because he is so far off from where I am, and I know that it's not going to end well. Right. And I tell him, we can't, we can't talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I can't. There's sometimes I can't.
Well, for me, it's not a part of my identity.
Right.
So I don't feel personally attacked when people attack Trump. I don't care. That's your opinion. It doesn't affect me at all. I think a lot of people adopt politics as their religion, and so if their candidate gets attacked, they take it as a personal attack. Just like if somebody were to say something terrible about Jesus or God, a Christian would feel personally attacked because that's part of their identity.
Yes,
right?
I agree with that.
So I don't consider politics to be part of my identity. I consider it to be a civic duty. I vote for who I believe with, but ultimately, and like you said, you can be an activist. You can do things to change things. But my job, in my mind, is to raise these three boys that I have.
Right.
And that's what my focus is on. Outside of political, like I said, I keep up with things, I follow things, but after election season's over, man, I'm raising my kids.
Yeah.
I'm doing what matters.
Things are so serious right now, though, that this is a historical time.
Oh, it's undoubtedly.
And years from now, we're going to be reading about this the same way that we read about.
Do you think World War III is going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know.
Or are we already in it? And
I don't know.
Looks different.
I don't know if it's that, or if. I don't know. I would like to think that. Some of this big stuff is going to change. I would like to think that there will be a resolve to some of it. Like I said, it takes 100 years. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be a big full-out war, or if, we're fighting each other so hard, it kind of is a war here at home.
Yeah, I was worried about the Minnesota stuff popping off into a full,
Well, and if you here again, history nerd, if you'll go back and look at the civil rights movement, There's lots of similarities. So one thing,
Well, history rhymes, right?
it does, and
Even if it doesn't repeat.
one of the things that I hear people say is the protesters are paid. These are paid, trained people. Let's talk about the civil rights movement because I feel like they're. So, when that was going on in the 60s, they had training
Mm-hmm.
for people that were protesting.
Yeah.
They would actually have them sit and be picked on. I'm going to pull your hair.
Right.
Don't react.
Right.
I'm going to poke you. Don't react. I'm going to put a gun in your face. Don't react. They had to teach them
Mm-hmm.
to be peaceful. So they were trained.
Right.
And they were funded.
Right.
So, like, for me, I don't agree with the way that ICE is doing things. I don't have a problem with people being deported. I don't. Obama did it.
They called him the deporter in chief.
Clinton did it.
He gave a medal to Tom Homan, as a matter of fact.
But let's talk about the difference.
Sure.
Let's talk about the difference. Trump is doing this in such an ugly way. Like, it's just... If we really were just going after the criminals, it would be one thing.
Right.
But we're pulling people that are documented people.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's not so. So what's happening there? As somebody that it tugs on me hard, and I wish that there was something that I could do. I would like to go help.
Right.
But I can't.
Right.
I could fund and help feed the people that are doing that work. It's work. In my opinion,
Right.
protesting and trying to change things is work.
Yeah.
It was work in the 60s to get the civil rights movement
Sure.
moved, and it's work right now to figure out how to change
Right.
this. I don't necessarily have a problem with, I don't necessarily think we should just have open wide borders. I don't.
Right.
But I'll tell you one thing. I know a few people that are immigrants, that are some of the best people I know.
Yeah, I do too, and a lot of the immigrants I know are pissed about the open borders because they came in legally and they had
Sure.
to wait for their,
Sure.
certification and
I
all
understand
those
that.
kinds of things.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, we maybe need to work on a way. I don't think we ought to have a big damn wall. I think that's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life. But I do think we should tighten some things up. We can change things and do it in a proper,
Sure.
humane, professional way.
Right.
And then when these people get caught doing something, when they inevitably get caught and get in trouble for something,
Right.
bye.
I don't think it's okay for these protesters to be stopping vehicles of citizens and demanding to see their papers to see if they're ICE or not. I think that's a nasty reaction.
Yeah,
Well, they're basically doing the same thing. It's just like Republicans now who are trying to cancel each other.
but what are we going to do? Something has to be done.
You can't be just stopping people on the road
I don't know.
it's not your job. Why are you the world police?
I don't know. It's the civil rights. There again, you've got MLK, which you'd be hard-pressed to find a person that doesn't think MLK was a wonderful man that did a lot of good work.
He did a lot of great things, but he was also a man. I think we deify a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's like
I would
if
say
you
that for
get
sure.
I mean, he cheated on his wife. He had a lot of,
But he was not. He was known to be nonviolent.
Absolutely.
He was known to be nonviolent.
Absolutely.
But the places that he was at, things got violent.
Yes.
And who's to say who did or who didn't? I just told you how they trained these people to be nonviolent.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, you have Malcolm X that was like, nonviolent?
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We have to go in with the heat.
Did he change his stance on that later in life?
I don't know.
I've heard that he kind of walked back
Loosened
from that,
up
but
on
I
it.
don't know.
I don't know.
But
that was kind of the
Yeah.
difference to begin with.
yeah.
And I mean, things. MLK was arrested 29 times before they shot him and killed him.
Yeah.
So things.
Who do you think killed him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who do you think killed Charlie Kirk?
My first thought, Trump.
Okay, what's the motivation there?
Distraction. A way to, I think he wants us at each other's throats the way that we are. I think this is exactly what he wants. And he got it. And I think that, that's a sad situation. There will never, ever be a time where I think it's good that anybody.
You saw the celebrations.
Oh yeah, it's awful. It's awful. That's wrong.
Those are the kinds of things
wrong
that continue to widen the divide.
It's wrong.
And when you know.
And I had to have talks with my own children about that.
Yeah.
Like and I think that's a big part of it too, is talking to your kids about what's happening and why some of these things are wrong, and how to be a genuine, caring, empathetic human being.
Right, but you're familiar with the term suicidal empathy.
I'm not, actually.
You care so much that you allow harm to come in some way, right? Like, I'll use...
Sweet baby. That's the sweetest baby. I love that.
He's got a toenail that gets ingrown.
Oh, goodness.
And so we've got to cut it every month or so because he doesn't put his full weight on it. He hates it so much. I hate it because you got to hold him down. And
it's hard getting old, man.
Man, it's so hard watching. You know, like I said, I closed my heart to animals, and we moved out here. You know, my wife wanted chickens, and so we had to have a country dog, and I was down with that. But yeah. I was like, I'm not going to love this dog.
He's kind of big, but he looks beagly.
We'll get it, but we're not. I'm not going to love it. And then we had not had him long, maybe a couple months, and I told you we had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old when we moved in here. I got some of my neighbor's mail in my mailbox, and he lives in the White House when you first come in the driveway. And so I'd met him before, but I thought I'd just run it up to the house and reintroduce myself. And anyway, he had this crazy ass, like, German Shepherd. Like, just
they can be pretty wild.
I didn't know that. It got bad. This dog was awful. Anyway, I get out with my kids, and this dog just starts charging toward my kids, and I don't even know why he was down there. The house is up here. It's 1,000 feet down there. He comes out of nowhere and just slams into this German Shepherd right in front, and I'm like, oh my God. And they start going at it. Paul grabs his dog. I grabbed him, and I put him in the car with my kids, and he was throwing himself at the glass, like hitting the glass, trying to get out.
It, boy.
And I have never felt like, I don't know what the emotion, just like such pride in the heroics of this dog just saved my children.
Yeah.
And so then it was like the dam broke, and it's like, I love this fucking dog, you know? But I mean, it would have happened eventually anyway, but they were 4 and 2 when we got him. He's older than my youngest son, obviously. It's all he's ever known. And so this winter, you know, obviously he's been inside most of the time, but it's going to be so hard for everybody.
It is.
And I'm dreading
it's rough.
But it also becomes one of those things, like, we've been saying this for 3 years.
Right.
You know, it's like, it's going to be his last winter. Be prepared.
Dude, Clyde was on his last leg forever.
I know.
And we would walk up and we would be like, Clyde.
Right?
Because he'd be just laying there looking like he's dead. So I get down and put a mirror under his nose.
Right?
Are you still going?
I meant to ask you when you got in, what do we have here? I like this piece.
So this is a mammoth tusk.
Is it really?
Yes, it's like a gazillion years old.
Is that carved into an eagle?
Yeah. There's an eagle. There's a bear.
My eyesight's not what it used
I think
to
there's
be.
actually 2 eagles and maybe a wolf. Like, there's a bunch of stuff.
That's a neat little piece.
Super
is that
cool.
really a mammoth tusk?
It really is.
That's
sick. It's certified.
That's cool. Yeah. Where'd you get it?
Eureka Springs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe that place is called Wildwood. It's a really cool, got a really neat pocket knife there too. That's got it looks like turquoise, but it's not, and it's really cool.
Eureka Springs is a cool town. What's the name of that hot sauce shop up there? Do you know?
I can't remember.
It's got a clever name. It's
I can't remember, but we stop in there and get, from time to time, we get the stuff from the Big Cock Ranch
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
They carry all of the things that are labeled shit.
Yeah.
So there's bullshit.
Yeah.
And chicken shit is our favorite.
Yeah, I know. Every time we go to your experience, I have to go in there, and I'm a huge hot sauce fanatic, and to the point where it's painful. Like I don't.
Yeah.
If it's miserable,
I just want to get a little bit sweaty, just a little sweaty.
Yeah, but
But
I
not
also
hurting.
I want it to have some flavor to it too. But man, some of that stuff is just evil. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you trying to accomplish
Right.
here, other than
Yeah.
making the hottest thing in the
Yeah.
world? I remember one time we were at Foghorn. We're going to Foghorns. And I don't know, maybe 20. And they had a deal where if you could eat
Yes, I remember
the deal,
that.
you got the meal for free.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I didn't want wings. I don't like wings. I don't like things with bones in them. So I said, put them on tenders.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Oh, no.
Soaks in.
Oh,
lot
to the
more, right?
breading, yeah.
Yeah. So I went in there with an empty stomach too.
Ooh.
So I said, I want them, but I want them on tenders. Well, before the food even came out, we could tell because our eyes started watering.
Ooh.
Comes out, brings this plate, puts it in front of me, and I start digging in. And yeah, it's lighting me up, but like I'm powering through it. I'm like, I'm with my dudes, right? Like I'm gonna fucking man
Yeah.
up on this. Well, once it got into my stomach, which was empty, it started burning a hole through it. Like I could feel it. Felt like I was getting stabbed. I went into, this is at a Foghorns, the one on not MLK, excuse me, on 71. Or the
Yeah.
college, whatever. Yeah. And I go into the bathroom, and I'm on my knees in a public bathroom holding the toilet, just throwing up stomach acid.
Ooh.
And then it got so bad, I went out to my car,
Yeah.
and I sat in the back seat with the door open, with my head out, praying to God to kill me. It's like, God, take me. I cannot.
My
It
gosh.
hurt so bad.
Yeah, that's just
and
crazy.
like it finally subsided, and I went in, and I was like, "Where's my food at?" I thought I was
my
gonna eat any more of
God.
it, but they were like, "Oh, dude, as soon as you got up, we
you're
got that
done.
out of there." So, needless to say, I had to pay for a meal that I got 2 bites
Oh,
out of.
man.
So, not as badass as I thought I was. However,
No way.
I've always thought about eating a loaf of bread and trying it again, but I'm too old for that shit. Not doing it.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
And like my kids have
No.
zero. Like we have a family recipe called Prairie Fire. It's a bean dip,
Okay.
and it's really spicy. And my family had made it all my life. Everybody in the family makes it. And I asked my grandma one time. I was over there. I was like, "You got to tell me the story,
Yeah.
or the recipe. Like how'd you
How'd
come?
it come
How
up?
old is this?" And she was like, "Oh, it was an ad in the newspaper for Kraft Foods, Kraft cheese." It's like, really? That's it? It was an ad? Anyway. It's a great
That
recipe.
happens. Like my grandma's sister
funny?
made this chili that was like, the best.
The shit,
Everybody
yeah.
liked- and it came from the newspaper.
Right?
It was the Friday night chili. Yeah.
So funny how many family recipes ended up
come
coming
from something like that. Yeah.
But my kids had no heat tolerance when they were little, so
Yeah.
we replaced the jalapenos with like red pepper, or excuse like
Yeah,
bell pepper.
Bell. Yeah.
And to
I
me,
use
it's like,
poblano peppers a lot
ooh, that's actually not a bad idea.
because they have a minute,
But not like a
amount of heat.
jalapeno.
Yeah.
But also
it's-
jalapenos, there's some that taste like a cucumber. They're so
Yeah,
mild. And
yeah.
then there's some that'll blow your head
Yep,
off.
even if you pull the seeds out, sometimes it just
And I think it has to do with how much water they have.
yeah, maybe.
Something like that. But like,
Well, poblanos are that way a little bit too. I mean,
Are they?
sometimes they're definitely a milder pepper, but occasionally you'll get one that's a little
a
warm.
little bit more.
I cook with those a lot, though. I use them.
Do
in
ya?
Oh yeah, with soups and
Huh.
yeah, I'll even
It's
cut
actually an
those up
interesting
for.
idea. I might try that for the Super Bowl. Try
Yeah.
some poblanos.
I use those for soup. For sometimes I stuff them. I'll like cream cheese
Yeah,
them. and
yeah.
I cook a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, a lot.
My
Last
wife does
weekend I
too.
made crawfish etouffee
Ooh, that sounds
last weekend.
delicious.
Dude, it was so good.
Did you go get the crawfish yourself from the creek?
No. That's a funny story, though. Red, he always tells people that that's how we met, was that we were hunting crawdads in the same creek, and we bumped heads. And that's how we met. That's what he used to tell people, that's how we met. And so when we got married, we hired the Valines twins. I don't know if you've ever heard of them before. They used to play around here quite a bit. They were kind of bluegrassy.
Okay.
We hired them to play our wedding, and our march out song was the Crawdad Hole.
Okay. Is that really how you met?
No.
Like even close?
No. We were set up on a blind date.
Okay.
So I had this cousin that was really kind of kind of an ornery guy. And he had been friends with Red for years. And Red and I had run in the same circles for a long time. And in fact, I don't know, but maybe I didn't take his keys once at a party. We were a big field party, and I took everybody's keys. It was kind of my thing. And we've talked later and said, he was at that. I may have took his keys. That was always kind of me. It's school marm, narcan hall monitor.
Right.
I've always kind of got picked on for that because I'd be hanging out and doing the same thing that the bad kids were doing, but I wanted us to do it in a safe way. So yeah, my cousin had known him for years, and I had just gotten divorced, and that's a whole nother. I was very young.
Yeah,
and got married and
you were a
divorced
baby.
very young, yeah.
Baby having baby.
And so that was my first free weekend after my divorce had gone through.
No kidding.
Yeah, and we were going to go camping. Me and my cousin, we were going to go camping, and he was like, well, he invited some girl. And I was like, dang, dude, like you just turned that into a date. Now I'm the third wheel. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I said, no, you got to find me a date. And so he had this one redheaded buddy that I'd always had a crush on when I was a kid. I said, call him up. I won't say his name to protect his identity, but I said, call him up and I want to go out with him. He couldn't get a hold of him. And then I was back at the house, like packing her stuff up or whatever. And the doorbell rings. And it's this tall, Red's tall. He's like 6'4". And it's this big tall guy and he's got a Ford ball cap on, redheaded. And I was like dying. And and the first thing he said to me was, I like your shirt. I had this old Led Zeppelin t-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had
Zeppelin
it cut
for
off
life.
because my best friend, she had bought it brand new, and I burned a hole in it with my cigarette, and she was so mad she made me pay full price for it, and I just cut it off and wore it. I had it for years, but yeah, so there he was, and I was like, okay, and he's like, Dave sent me over, like, I guess I'm gonna go camping with you guys. And I was like, okay. So then later, I hear the story as Dave tells it. I'm like, where did you find this guy? He's like, well, I've known him forever. He said, I was driving down Emma Street, and he said, I looked over there, and there's old Red, and he's got him a vanilla ice cream cone. He had stopped at that little dairy freeze or whatever it was there on Emma. And he said, looked over there, and Red's, slurping his ice cream cone. And he said, I rolled my window down, and I said, hey, Red, you want to go camping and be a date for my cousin? Red said, well, I don't know. He said, what'd she look like? He said, well, she got a real pretty face and big old boobs. Because at the time I had big boobs. I've had a reduction since then. I was a G. So she's got a real pretty face and big old boobs. He said, Red took one big slurp off that ice cream cone, threw it in the trash can, and got in the truck.
Boys will be boys, right? You sold them with the boobs.
And so we went camping. That was our first date, and we were out at Mill Creek out there. Cave Springs,
Mill Creek
Cave Springs area.
So
Cold.
my son dirt bikes.
Yeah, it's real cold.
Yeah.
He helped me wash my hair. I had my hair hung down in my butt back then, and he helped me wash my hair in the creek.
Why would you want to mess with that?
Wash my hair?
No, why would you want to grow it out that long?
Oh, I loved it. I'm trying to
so
grow
much
it.
work.
I'm trying to grow it out again now.
Are you?
Yes, I loved it.
See have you seen my kids? They got long hair, right?
the middle one, yeah.
Yeah, and like they it's like Samson with them. It's like their power. They will
Oh,
never
yeah.
cut it. And like, Dad, you need to grow your hair out. And my hair gets like this long. I'm like, I'm tired of messing with it.
Yeah.
It's got to go.
Red's is all the way down his back. He's got
Really?
the most beautiful ponytail you've ever seen in your life.
I grew it out once. I grew it out shoulder length. I was in a band called the August, and I don't remember what happened. I got pissed off at it one day, and I buzzed it all off. And I went and saw my grandma, and she looked at me and just started openly weeping. Said, "What
Really?
did you do?
Oh my
You
gosh.
lost your beautiful hair. Why did you do that?"
That's so funny because the women in like Red's mom's never really said a whole lot, but I guess they're pretty traditional. They probably don't really think it's that
It's so
great.
crazy. Like I get like my boys get called girls all the time, and I've given them confidence to correct them.
Yeah.
Like there ain't no
looks,
shame in it.
That looks just like a boy to me.
I know
I
it's like
girl. That's
yeah.
just people being.
Well, it's
butthole
they're
on
not
purpose.
being mean by it, you know. They just see long hair and they just assume. I don't think there's any malice from it, but I do think they need to be corrected.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's obviously not, but you know, I have so many friends who was like, I would never let my kid grow their hair out. You know, it's gay.
I had a discussion the other day about that.
Opinion.
It really is. It's
They
plumb
won't
silly.
let their kids, even if they want to grow it out. Like you're not doing that because it's.
I've always been very. I don't know. I let my kids do whatever they need to do as far as their appearance goes because, you know, you only got so much time to be a young person.
And you only have so much control over anything in your life as a kid.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me one time, like made a comment about, oh, your wife picks out some really cool clothes for your kids. Like, they dress themselves.
Yeah.
Why would they not?
Yep. Yeah. My kids always like, you know, they colored their hair. Ireland had pink hair when she was like 10.
Yeah.
And she's had blue hair and purple hair. And hell, I had, when the pandemic started, I quit coloring my hair. I had bright red hair for years. That was
really?
Yeah. Revlon number 48 was my color. Bright auburn.
Right.
That was my color. And people thought it was my hair.
Really?
I kind of have a redheaded temperament, and it just, you know,
it fit.
It just looked right.
Do you have any Irish? Are you?
Oh yeah.
Ancestry? Okay.
Oh yeah. My
it's a real thing.
My mom's maiden name is McAfee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with bad temper and alcoholism.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of
alcohol.
Yeah, there's a lot of alcoholism in my family, but I don't do that because I have that hereditary blood sugar issues. So
you're better off.
Yeah, I got the temper though, but
yeah,
for years my hair was bright red like that, and then even my dermatologist commented something about my red hair one time. He's like, you got kind of olivey undertone to your skin. He said, how did you get that red hair and blue eyes? I said, Doc, it's Revlon number 48.
Revlon 48?
Yeah. So, but when the pandemic happened, I don't know. I was like, I'm going to quit coloring my hair. And I could see, you know, I had some little silvers coming in and I didn't mind that too much. And so I let it grow out and my roots got pretty dark. And so the part that was colored, I decided, well, I'm going to have some fun with that. And I bleached the ends. I left my roots, you know, and I bleached the ends. And I'd get a brush and I would squirt pink and purple in that brush and then just brush it through.
Okay.
And so I had like unicorn hair for a couple of years.
All right.
Or about a year, I guess. And then when it grew all the way out to my chin, I cut it off real short.
Right.
And then it went curly. Without having any color in it, I have curls.
It didn't used to be curly?
Nope.
That changed?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it was age.
Biology is so weird.
Strange. Menopause is so strange.
You're not there yet.
Well, perimenopause, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that stuff starts when you're about.
What's perimenopause?
Is like when your uterus is starting to die, when it starts to think about dying. Then yeah, you do all kinds of weird things.
Is it hormonal too?
Yes, hormonal shifts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's this really cool
Women
thing
really
where
have a lot of bullshit to deal with.
We do. The itchy ears is probably the worst thing for me.
Are you serious? I've never
Dude,
even heard of that.
it's so awful. They itch all the time. Like I'm constantly.
Are you serious? That's
it's
side
hormones.
effect?
Yes, it's hormones. It's so strange what your ears will do with pregnancy. Sometimes will change your ear health. Like you'll be like more waxy or dry or whatever. Right. Yeah. Yep. Hormones are a really wild thing.
Yeah.
And I'm pre-diabetic, which is a hormonal issue as
right.
well. And I have a thyroid thing, which
Jeez.
I have a mass on my throat that's the size of a golf ball. Yeah. Isn't that cool? I named him Frank.
Oh my God. Is it like, what do you call it?
He's not
cancerous?
No, he's not cancerous or anything. He's ugly. He ain't scary.
All right. Are they worried about it turning anything?
They watch it.
Really?
Yeah, I go have it.
Can you feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he causes me problems sometimes. Like, I was sick recently and I was trying to fall asleep and I was having a hard time breathing.
Really?
Because I was kind of congested.
Yeah.
And so plus that, I was like, man.
So does it put pressure on like your throat, like your larynx?
Sometimes, and it's weird because I notice it when I'm singing.
I was about
from
to
time
ask,
to time.
does it affect your singing?
There's certain notes that I'll hit, and it'll vibrate on my vocal cord, and I'll cough.
Really?
Yes.
Man, that's messed up.
Yeah, it is. I could have it taken out.
Right.
But I don't want to be on drugs. So I'm just like, as long as it's not hurting me or, messing my life up real big, I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, no, I get that too. So you said you had some studio recordings. I want to go back to this. I'd love to hear them. Is there a way?
You can find them.
You
Dude, I don't even know where they're at. Like, I don't know. I don't even know. I could probably message Chris and be like, hey, bruh, do you have that on file? Like, it was sent on a file to my telephone like 3 phones ago, so I have no idea. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to get hold of it. And I spent a little money to do that. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with it. I think I was working on trying to get a press kit.
Yeah,
together.
Our first, when I was with Durham, our first recording was a 6-song EP just to get booked. Just like for a press kit.
Yeah, we had I think we did 5 tunes.
Yep. And so we passed that around, but it was studio quality. I mean, it was good. But then our guitar player graduated, and we all knew this. His dad owns Melton Jeep out there, and he was going to go, work for his dad. So he moved back to Tulsa, and then we ended up landing up with a great guitar player immediately with Johnny Smith, and he came into the band. His first show was a battle of the bands that we won. Ended up opening up 38 Special, like right when he joins. But it's so wild. What the hell were we talking? What was the point of it? What launched into this? I had a point to this.
We were talking about recording.
Oh yeah. The recording. So we had these 6 songs, and we'd always intended to finish the record.
Yeah.
But Johnny was a lot more like Van Halen influence, where Greg was more 90s, and Johnny's about 10 years older than us, so he's like in between me and my dad. Yeah. So he grew up with the Van Halen stuff. So I was like, our sound changed to accompany that.
Right.
And so we just started over. It was like, we'll leave. We got the EP, so we went in and we recorded "Carry Me Home," and then our old guitar player got a studio set up out in Tulsa, and he was like, y'all ought to come out, all of you, and let's finish that record. So we did, and so we went back, and so we ended up doing kind of a prequel album. But I mean, the studio's so fun for me because you're laying it down. Yeah. Like, this is the version,
Yeah, like, it's neat.
Yeah, I don't know, there's nothing like it. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of precision. Right. But it makes you better. Yeah. Because you have to be perfect. Yeah. It's got to be perfect.
Well, and that's, for me, I'm kind of I actually have diagnosed OCD, which is part of why I'm really good at my job. Yeah. And so
it has its benefits for sure.
It if you channel it the right way.
Yeah, it can.
I mean, there's ways that it also there was a time in my life where it was absolutely ruining my life.
Really?
Oh yeah, like that was a big part of why I started therapy, was because I couldn't leave my house unless the pillows on the couch were all straight and just right, and spots on the faucet really bothered me. Like it hurts me. Yeah. I couldn't leave. My makeup scattered. I'm totally overall. Like my therapist had me do exercises to help me work through that. And
what kind of exercises?
So one thing is, because I'm a worrier and I worry about things, he would have me write a list. He said, I want you to go home and write a list of the things that you worry about. And he said, then I want you to spend 10 or 15 minutes a day. You can sit there and read through your list and worry about that stuff. He said, and then fold it up, put it in a box, and the next time one of those things comes up, you just it's not time to worry about that right now. Right. It's not worry time. And that really did kind of help.
Conditioning
sort of, yes.
Because I'll worry about shit that may or may not ever even happen.
Oh, yeah.
What if a water line bursts under the concrete?
Oh, yeah.
What do we? And I'll dwell on it.
Yes.
And I'll get so anxious.
Yes.
And focus on it, and it drives me nuts.
One of the things for me is I have death worry. I'm constantly worried that when I found out I had this lump in my throat, I had wives picked out for red.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm not kidding. I had a list of, I'm like, these girls,
Why would you do that?
I'm like, these girls you are not allowed to talk to. This one is the one. And it's funny because we actually ran into her a while back, the wife that I had picked out for him.
Right.
And we ran into her and I was like, she's so cute. And she's
My
so
gosh.
sweet and she's so kind. And I just know that she would take good care of him. You know, like she would just be such a good mate for him. Like, yeah.
That's a good woman right there. I gotta say.
Now, he has to wait a year.
Oh, okay. So
there better be like a year of mourning.
Okay.
Like, you better be real sad.
This isn't a quick turnaround.
No, you have to be sad for at least a year.
Okay.
And then when you get over it, you can call her up and ask her on a date.
Okay. Okay. That is fun.
Yeah. So,
That's
but
funny
I do.
stuff.
I unnecessarily worry about things all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you talked
I'll
about
have a headache and I'll be like, I have a brain tumor. My dog has been having these seizures and like I've been worried about. I thought the first time it happened, I thought he was dying.
Yeah.
Like I just knew it.
I take certain meds for anxiety, and like anytime my stomach hurts, I'm like, I've got stomach cancer.
Yeah.
Or my kidneys are going out.
Yeah, that's actually, it's an intrusive, obsessive thought. That's actually a kind of OCD.
Yeah. I mean, and I go get checked out. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what panic attacks were. I'd heard about them.
They
didn't
can be
really
really
think they
brutal.
were real. It was like,
Right, yeah.
And I had what I
it's
thought was
real
a heart
stuff.
attack.
Yep.
Driving one day, and I go to the ER, and they're like, "Your heart's fine," and basically told me it was a panic attack. And my God, they're awful.
Yeah, I was having some pretty brutal ones before I had my surgery. It's been almost exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mentioned I had a reduction. I had an extensive surgery. I was under for 8 hours.
Are you kidding?
No.
For a breast reduction?
Well, I had some little extras done too.
Okay. We
So-
don't need to get into that.
But yeah, I was having super,
Yeah.
big anxiety about that because I knew that the recovery was going to be brutal.
I thought they were made up. I didn't believe in them.
No, it'll
like,
get you.
I
I
thought it
actually
was an
had them
excuse.
put me on I went to the doctor and they actually did like EKG, like hooked me up and they were like, "You're fine."
That's exactly what they did to me. I told
Yep.
you when I thought I had a heart attack, I went straight there. They hooked me up to EKG and like, "You're fine." But I believed, and this goes back to lived experience, right? I thought it was an excuse to get out of work.
Oh,
Like I really did, because I never had one, and I had anxiety, and I'm like, I've got anxiety bad. I'm on anxiety medication. I've never had crippling, and then I did, and it's like, and then your whole worldview changes, right?
Yep.
Because sometimes you need to have.
You know, things like that have happened to me before, where I'm like, something just doesn't make sense to me, and then I see it happen to someone else close to me, or it happens to myself, and I'm like, and that's one way that I operate in my everyday life is I try to like running. I run several days a week. I try to clock 10 miles every week. My goal is 500 miles for this year. So
I feel
every
like
day,
such a fucking loser now after you said that.
honestly, it's not that hard. It really isn't. Like if you're reasonably healthy, a mile is nothing. It really isn't. Like it sounds like a lot, but it's really not.
Yeah.
But every day, I'll get up and I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then I think about friends that I have that, have long COVID that literally can't do anything. Like it's stolen their life, or, have big physical problems that they can't. And I'm like, you know what? It would be really, really sad if I could not do this.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do this because I can.
That's a good point. And I have really been trying to make an effort to at least, I always thought that you had to run. Like it had to be super exertion and talking to my doctor, like just walking.
Well, I say run, but it really is more of a good
But even
trot.
walking, and especially around here, we've got haulers everywhere. Yeah. So like yesterday, me and the boys went on a walk for an hour, and I was like, after an hour, I was like, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And the kids are fine,
Does your watch track, or is it just a watch?
No, it's just a regular.
Yeah, I got you. So that was kind of one of the ways that I.
Really?
I got this watch, and I was like, it tracks my steps and all my stuff, and I can record my, my workouts and everything, and it was kind of a way that it's kind of cool to watch it, and like when we go out riding four-wheelers or whatever, and we're hiking around, Red will even ask me, be like, what's your watch say? How far did we go?
Right.
How many flights of stairs did we do?
Man, there's so many technologies. My parents have this LifeLock thing where they can track each other and like see where everybody's at. And
Oh yeah, we've got Life 360 on our
Life
phones.
360, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like such an like it makes my skin crawl to like the invasion of privacy. Like
I
putting
have
it on
daughters.
My kids. I get it.
The one daughter, she actually, my oldest is like, please track me. Please, for the love of God,
that's
track
a different
me.
story.
She spends a lot of time alone. She, she's by herself a lot. And so she wants me to track her. The other one, she doesn't love it, but I have her I don't have her on our 360 app.
I have a mixed feeling about it. Like, I totally get it as parents, but also, like, I think a kid needs to be trusted until they give you a reason not to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also know dads who have caught their daughters where places they shouldn't have been.
Oh, yeah.
So
kids are going to do stuff they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just, but it helps us like like we woke up, the reason that I wanted it was because we woke up on a Saturday morning and Pearl was not home, our youngest. Like, she just wasn't there.
And was
just
supposed
wasn't
to be.
there. Yeah, and was supposed to be. And what had happened was she was hanging out at her friend's house and fell asleep. Yeah. Like, just crashed, fell asleep. Yeah. And so I didn't
obviously no phone call.
Oh, dude, I was calling her, was texting her. I was like, okay, I'm headed to your work to see if your car is there, and then my next step is the police station. Like, I was freaking out. I just knew. I listened to way too much Dateline.
Yeah.
I was terrified that something had happened to my kid.
Sure.
And so, we just have her location. You know, I can look and see like where she's at or whatever. But the Life 360 app, it's pretty cool because it'll actually tell me, it'll say, okay, Josh, who is Red is Josh, same person. It'll say Josh has left home, and then it'll say Josh completed a 3-mile drive and his top speed was, 55 miles an hour or whatever. Right. And I pick at him a lot. I'll message him and be like, why were you going 83 miles an hour just now? Like, what are you doing? He's like, I wasn't. I'm like, you lie. I know you were.
So we're in a very crucial, like you said, we're in times that they're going to write about years later.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things that has me most concerned is AI.
Oh, me too.
As a science fiction fan, or fan of science fiction, like, I've been reading these warnings since the 50s.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
the books in the 50s
right.
warning against, and then you got Terminator, and you got all these things.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it.
Are we giving up? Like, I feel like we're giving something up for convenience here.
Oh, absolutely.
That's gonna fuck us.
We're giving stuff up for convenience and just asinine entertainment.
Well, we've been doing this for years, but with AI, I feel like it's really dangerous. And even Elon says, there's about a 50-50 chance that things will work out and it won't turn around and kill us.
Yeah, I don't think it's good at all.
If you read the Dune franchise or Terminator, like in Dune, at the start, are you familiar with Dune?
I'm not.
No, okay. So
is it television or book?
It was a novel written by Frank Herbert back in, I think, the 60s. But basically, it's about the spice melange, which is created by these sandworms. It's basically like a drug that everybody in the world takes, or everybody in the galaxy. It basically prolongs life. All these things. Anyway, It's like the biggest commodity, but it's only available on one planet. So whoever controls that planet controls the galaxy, basically. Anyway, but computers are outlawed because thousands of years before, they created these AI servants that were basically the household, just like Optimus robots that Elon's making.
Okay, yeah.
And the computers eventually revolted and started killing the masters because they were inefficient. How far are we from that? Like,
it sounds crazy, but it's kind of not.
Well, but think about it. The AI is dependent on its programming. So if it's not programmed with saving humanity at all costs, being your, like, what if you have somebody that's wants to do malefic things with it? And there's not just one AI now. There's dozens.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. It terrifies me in what it can do because it has all knowledge at once, or at least all access to knowledge at once. Not that it's smarter than us, but it has access to so much. What are your thoughts?
For me personally, I am not okay with it just because it's environmentally impactful in a negative way. From what I understand, it's very wasteful with water. And the town that, like, I'm going to use words that don't make sense. There's not like an AI factory, but like the place where these things are, where these things are being generated. Yeah. The first town with the first server is experiencing drought. There's drought problems.
For cool down?
Yes, yes. It's a waste of water. Like all these little pictures that you see, all these people using AI to make the little Christmas pictures and the little, all of that.
Yeah, it's all fun and games right now.
It's using... I've read anywhere from a tablespoon of water to a liter of water for one image.
See, I haven't heard any of this, so this is something I'll look into.
Well,
that's
and
wild.
The first time I heard it, I was like, yeah, right, that's so dumb. That's not true. But it is true.
Really?
It is true, yes. And I don't know... do you remember... You probably do, because you're close to my age. Do you remember Nickelodeon... There was the Linda Ellerby show. It was like a news show for kids. And they were really big on like environmental, like recycling and all that kind of stuff. And so I've always
I remember Nickelodeon well. I used to get in trouble for watching Ren and Stimpy.
Dude, I love Ren and Stimpy.
My mom hated that show.
My mom loved it. She did. She loved it. And in fact, there was a bar. My parents one time went to New Orleans on their motorcycle, and they were in this bar, and they were playing Ren and Stimpy on the TVs in the bar. My mom was so impressed with that. But yeah, Linda Ellerby, she was big on environmental stuff, and so
she was a host on the Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, and so even as a kid, like that's always been, a thought for me. I try to think about what I'm doing, how it's gonna impact, and for me, that it's AI's gross because of that. It's gross for all kinds of reasons.
I'm sorry I keep jumping topics.
That's okay.
I'm just like I like the conversation.
Right.
Cues me into things. You grew up in the 80s.
Yep.
What were your favorite shows growing up as a girl? Because I had girl cousins.
Right.
So I saw a lot of She-Ra and Care Bears, My Little Pony.
We didn't have like cable TV or anything like that until I was in like the 5th grade.
Gotcha.
So I did watch like TV. I watched TV at my grandma's house is probably where I was watching like the Nickelodeon stuff. I think Care Bears was kind of before me. I mean, I remember like maybe watching that on video, maybe like from the video store.
Yeah. Well, do you have any like favorite movies or any like childhood favorites from that era? Because like as a boy, like I
loved I did like the Jetsons. I remember watching like reruns of the Jetsons and Flintstones and Scooby Doo, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know about the girl stuff. I don't know that I was ever. I wasn't like into She-Ra or anything.
Right. I always just thought boys had cooler shit growing up.
Yeah, me too. Like it's kind of funny. I grew up with mostly boy cousins, and I've always been very girly. I mean, I would be like wearing my bright red lipstick while I'm riding 4-wheelers and playing with army guys or whatever.
See, that's once again femininity and
and my go-kart, dude. I had a go-kart and I ran the wheels off of that thing. So yeah, I was always kind of doing like the boy stuff too.
Nothing wrong with that. I always liked the tomboys. They were a lot more fun.
And sometimes I would like put makeup and stuff on my cousins. Like a couple of them didn't mind it, and they would let me do it.
If you can do it, why not do
it? Yeah. So
shit. Well, we've been going for a couple hours. I'm gonna go see my family, but I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, me too.
Really appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we'll do it again.
It's
one of those things that, God, you go all day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in closing, I wanna come back to the AI thing.
Right.
what do you think the most likely scenario? Because so like the premise, like it's gonna take. Well, already Hollywood's had to have a convening because it can write scripts. It's going to be able to make video games within a year with your own prompts. So you can create your own characters, and it's already creating video games like
right.
Wolfenstein 3D style. So it's almost like when the Industrial Revolution came around. You know, a lot of jobs.
Right.
I mean, imagine the world going from horseback to motor cars.
Yeah.
Right.
That stuff's always scary.
It's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think is going to happen with AI? Like, if you were to just
I don't know.
guess.
I've never really thought about,
Because this is unprecedented.
you were talking about going, from horseback to cars, and that kind of makes me think about, like, when the telephone became a thing, people were really scared of it. It was like, ooh.
Sure.
It kind of makes you wonder, are we being overly cautious?
That could be an option too.
That thought has never come into my head until just now. That's kind of a new thought.
Yeah.
And
it could be a huge tool for humanity.
Right.
It could get us.
Well, and I think most things in life can be a tool.
Yeah. It's when the tool turns around and kills you. That's
right.
A hammer is not going to just kill you
right.
on its own. Whereas,
Well, I mean, even like social media, like the only one that I really do is Facebook. But I built a lot of my business through my Facebook.
Sure. Yeah, because social media can be a positive tool.
It is a tool, and I built my business that way. I built my band that way when I was doing that, and we had like 1,000 followers or something. So, I think I don't know. Like I said, environmentally, it's a negative impact. I do kind of worry about it taking over and being and as Americans, I don't think we're very good at like moderation and not overdoing
discipline
or overdoing things.
Right.
And like just as a people in general, we're not very integral about stuff. So that's my worry. If we would act right, we could maybe have more responsibilities. But
are you religious at all?
You're trying to end this episode. That's a whole nother can of worms.
What a stupid question for trying to end a podcast, right? We just added an hour onto this bonus content.
I'll be quick.
We don't have. I'm not in any hurry.
So
really.
I grew up with parents that were really not religious at all. But my grandparents kind of were.
Mm-hmm.
My dad would take me and drop me off at the local Baptist church. I think just to get rid of me, maybe, sometimes.
Maybe. So you go out on a bike ride?
I can remember specifically him dropping me off at church for Sunday school and wearing a shirt that, like, had cuss words on it. And, like, that kind of things. So not really. But then when I was 16, something kind of weird and traumatic happened in my family, and my dad went religious.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like he had a
conversion. Oh yeah. He would like.
Wow. What happened?
He got rid of. He got rid of.
You don't have to.
It was kind of a. I got in trouble with a boyfriend. Like I got in trouble with a boyfriend. We had been hanging out, and we were kind of hanging out with my mom, and we had been smoking pot with my mom.
Okay.
And his parents, the boyfriend's parents, found out.
Okay.
And they were gonna try to press charges. Like they were trying to. It was kind of
how far we've come, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a bad deal, and my dad was really upset and scared and worried, and
absolutely.
He got all my mom's weed and all of her pipes, and he got in his truck and he drove down the road and he threw them out the window. And he was like, "We're going to church. Like, this is what we're doing. I'm leading the family." Like, he just
really.
Yes. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't think so. Like, you can do whatever you want, but I'm not doing that."
Did it hold?
For a while. So I got pregnant not too long after that.
Yeah.
So obviously I wasn't really holding to the rules. But my parents were very invested in our church for, oh gosh, I don't know, 5 or 6 years maybe. A while, yeah. And then I don't know what changed and why they like changed their mind and did things different. But they did. My dad still, I mean, I guess I've been estranged from my parents. That's a very long story. I've been estranged from them for 7 years.
I'm sorry to hear
This
that.
time, I am too, but it's what has to be. It
I
sucks,
understand
but
it.
it's what has to
I
be.
get it. You're doing what's right for you.
I love them dearly. Like they're good people. They're not inherently like bad people or anything. They just, there's mental health issues that need to be addressed and nobody's addressing it. Yeah. And so things happen when we're all together that are unacceptable, and I just can't. It makes things very unpeaceful. So, but so I said I was gonna make this short and then I didn't. I'm so sorry. So
no, you're fine.
So we wound up. Then I married Red, and we were kind of just doing our own thing. And I don't know where it came from or why it happened. I mean, we would go to church like occasionally with my grandparents or whatever. But Red decided that that's like what he was into, I guess, and he got saved or whatever, and I rededicated, and we lived that life for 5.5 years, 6 years, or something like that. Yeah, we were Sunday school teachers. I organized all of the events for that church. It was probably, I don't know, there were probably 500 to 700 people. It was a pretty good sized church.
Sure.
I organized like the Christmas parties and the Easter egg hunts, and
right on.
I taught a class based on Romans 1 about being kind to your body. I taught a weight loss class that was based on that, a health class. I did.
So you dabbled quite a bit.
Oh yeah, Red was in the band. He played drums. I sang in the choir. I did fundraisers and things, like we needed rocking chairs for the nursery, and so I did this really cool like t-shirt contest. I had a design contest, and we made t-shirts from the design, and then everybody bought the t-shirts, and that paid for the rocking chairs. Like I did all kinds of things. It was a good like outlet for me to work, and I feel like I'm still good friends with a lot of the people that I went to church with. That pastor he's a good man. You know, there's nothing wrong with him. Like he's a good man. I still to this day, like I remember his phone number by heart. I could call him right now and tell him I needed something, and he'd be there for me. But I just got tired of sitting there every Sunday and listening to things that I don't agree with. I don't, growing up, my best friend, we met in the 5th grade, and there was something always, something different about that boy. He was a 5th grader carrying a duffel bag with a bunch of hair product in it. And when we were 20, I think I was 20 years old, he came out and told me that he was gay. And I was like, thank God, like finally,
right.
I'm so glad that you can be yourself now. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that's who he is, that's how he is, and that's how he always was.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting in this church every week, and I'm hearing how that people like him are going to burn.
Yeah.
And that right there is what did it. So,
I don't know who the quote is from, but it's basically the single greatest cause of atheism in the world today is Christians who acknowledge with their lips but defy with their actions.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot of that going on too.
Yeah. I'm disgusted with not with Jesus.
Right.
Like I believe in the teachings. Jesus would be railing against.
Oh yeah,
the church today.
Yeah, this would not be okay. It would not be okay at all.
What's happening? Yeah.
I'm a very I know this is gonna sound really cliche, but I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. I think there's definitely something beyond me.
Oh yeah,
there's something.
Yeah, I believe in a higher
just,
power, and I believe in the teachings of Jesus. I
right.
believe that's the foundation of my moral center.
Yeah,
is those teachings. But where it gets tricky is that if you don't believe in the resurrection,
right,
then your Christian friend you're not a Christian then.
Right, yeah. You gotta be born again, yeah.
Yeah, you need to, and it's like, bro, come on now.
Right.
What if I'm following the teachings and I'm being a good person and I'm living my life,
right.
What does it matter if I believe?
Well, and two,
what does it matter to God if you worship him?
And how do we determine like who's right and who's wrong? Because if you go and you look at like all the religions of the world, they have like 2 or 3 things that are kind of the same-ish. Like you call it one thing and I call it another, and this guy over here, he calls it something else.
Right, but why is there only one Islam, one Judaism,
Right.
35,000 registered Christian organizations?
There you go. Yeah.
What?
I don't know, because Americans can't.
I was looking for a Bible the other day, just a red letter version of the New Testament, and I'm going in there and it's NKJV and and CBS.
And if it's not King James Version, you're wrong in the Southern Baptist.
I literally went to AI and I said, hey, I'm trying to find a Bible. I don't know what all these prefixes are.
Right.
Can you summarize for me all these, modern prefixes? Came out with a list of 20 different English translations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these people are so confident that
that's the one.
Whatever
is the
theirs
one.
is,
Right, yeah.
is the right one.
Yeah. Well, one time I had been cleaning for a lady that was from India. Her parents were from India, and she had been here her whole life, I assume. But her parents had come from India.
Okay.
And cleaned for her for a long time, and she was a nice lady. And then her mom was doing a remodel on her house, and she needed some help. And so I went to clean for her. When I got there was like this weird powder, like this red powder stuff on the floor, and I thought that was kind of odd. And there was like incense burning and stuff. And every now and then I would hear her in another room, and she was doing these beautiful like chants, like these chants. And so I asked her later, I said, do you mind if I ask, like, I keep hearing you do this singing. I was like, what's your singing? And come to find out, she is Hindu. And it was in the middle of one of their holidays.
Okay.
And so, like, every hour she had to do this, like, chant prayer thing. And I was kind of asking her some questions because I was interested. And she said, would you like to see my prayer room, my altar or whatever? I was like, yeah, sure. And we go in there. And this is one of the coolest things that ever happened to me. Like, it was so neat. She had this altar, and she had all of the different religions. There was a Jesus, there was all the things from the different religions. She had them all together because she kind of feels like they're all important.
Interesting.
And that's part of Hindu. And I was like, how neat. So not everybody thinks that their way's the only way.
Well, I got really fascinated with Sumerian. You're a historian. Do you know much about Sumerian text?
I don't.
It predates the Bible by 2,000 years, and they talk about basically aliens coming down, the Anunnaki.
Oh, wow.
And this is the oldest recorded human history, but they talk about basically aliens coming down here and settling because of a war that they had in space. And like there's so many stories. You look at Sumeria, you look at Greek, you look at the Norse mythology, and like even the Bible talks about giants on Earth, angels mating with humans and creating the Nephilim. Like, I think there's so much undiscovered. I don't know if you saw the LiDAR images of what's under the Giza pyramids.
Check it out.
Check that out. And Zawi Hawass is the guy's name, who's basically the keeper of the keys for Egypt. And he's look into him as well. A lot of people think he's protecting some major lore, like he won't allow excavations. He's really a dick when it comes to like trying to study what's going on. But they found these massive, it looks like an underground city under the pyramid.
Wow.
I can't remember which one it's called, but like there are these shafts going down like hundreds of meters into these caverns underneath, and it's like, what if they have like a god down there, like like an ancient? Yeah, it's like there's so much we don't know, and so much like even Christianity. I think was it Mark or Matthew's the book that was written closest to Jesus' time, and it's 40 years after his death, right? And so I'm reading the Case for Christ right now, just to kind of try and understand, some of the arguments for and against. But it was oral tradition back then, because not everybody just had a computer to type out. Right. And so a lot of it was oral tradition. And so, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, all written by different people that contain a lot of the same stories and things. And so it lends credence to it. And then you got the miracles, the resurrection.
Right.
But then you also look back on all this lore, like if you've read, like the Iliad and the Odyssey, was that stuff just fiction?
Sure.
Or
Makes you wonder,
was there?
doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm fascinated with that, and there's no way to really get to the truth of it unless we can excavate under places like Egypt and stuff. But I'm just so fascinated. Like, I think that at some point there were gods here, plural. Even in the Bible, it says, "You shall have no other gods before me," acknowledging that there were other gods.
Right.
Right.
Well, or does that mean
or does that mean idolatry of something else? Right. I don't know.
Because there's lots of things that can be.
The older I get, the more I realize I don't know shit. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up knowing everything. I'm smarter than my parents. I'm smarter than everybody. And now I'm almost 45, and I'm like, I don't know anything. Yeah. And even if I do think I know it, it's probably
I probably
wrong.
don't. Yeah.
And
here in a few years, I'll figure out that was wrong too.
It's we're on a journey.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it really is. You have to look at it as journey before destination, because the destination for all of us is death.
Right.
And so
I don't think this is the end of it either.
I don't believe that either. I think there's a collective consciousness. Like, energy can't be created or destroyed, right? So like, I think your consciousness goes into something. Right. I think we can come back. I think maybe we get sent back. Yeah. I don't know. They're just theories, but I definitely don't think this is just chaos. Yeah. Out of nothing.
I think there's definitely something.
I believe in good and evil. I think there's really...
Yeah, I think so too. I really hope that it is, like I've been taught my whole life, and that it's this really great place that I get to, just get back to my grandma. Like I hope that's the way it is.
But also, like, how does it work with like divorced families and drama in heaven, right? It's like, it can't be that way.
Right. I really want it to be, though.
Entertaining.
I think about that a lot, yeah.
I think we all become part of like a divine consciousness or something. But yeah, I definitely don't think it ends after we die.
There's no way. It's too, nah.
Well, lady, this has been a fascinating conversation. We were all over the map.
We went all over the place.
Fortunately, we didn't talk politics too much, because I really hate talking politics. But I had a fun time with you, and I hope you'll do it again. Yeah. Down the road.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's a good time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you. It was nice to meet you.
Oh, I got to pee so bad. I almost thought about just pissing myself. Then you told me that story about your leg. I was like, that doesn't sound quite as pleasant as...
Yeah, that was rough.